fire, trapped under ice. And we are live. What's going on? We're here. Metal Dad's here. Turbo's here. The Blasphemer's here. The Flynn is over there playing bass in front of the drum kit, off the camera like he likes to be. I believe this is yours there, Turbs. We haven't even sound checked him. I just wanted to get the video going. You're still chopping wood in the background. We're all just having a time, doing our thing. We're live on TikTok as well. Just people watching us do our thing. This week, we have Chad, the Blasphemer.
That is me.
Chadis. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he has a project called Luciferium,
That is correct.
where he plays drums. He's quite the established drummer. He's got the Blue Monster, but it's not here right now. Blue Monster, but it's not here right now. That's what
It's
we call
stashed
it.
away in the studio up in Woodstock there.
Instead of me introducing you, why don't you just introduce yourself while I sort out some audio stuff? Just introduce yourself to everybody. Tell us who you are, what it is that you hope to accomplish, and what is your truth in your music.
The truth behind what I have been trying to accomplish. Well, I guess more or less, I've been going from playing with a full band, mainly with Monteith. We're still together, but just mainly kind of taking a break from playing as a full band. And I guess I'm taking the more route of doing it more solo. So I kind of am trying to shift directions towards, I don't know, kind of doing it more just a live drumming set where it's just drums and basically just drums. And I'd be playing to a black backing track. And so the drum kit would be set up basically right up to the front of the stage. So all you would be viewing is directly over top of the drums. So it's basically a front row seat to basically everything that is being played, rather than the drum kit being the furthest to the back, so you don't see any of the magic happening. I just think that would be kind of a more interesting take towards playing shows. Yeah. Well, that was also kind of where I might be leaning towards as well. I'll have my camera set up, and I'll be able to record the whole event live, and I'll be able to post it on my pages, such as my Chatters Blastifer Facebook page and my Instagram page and such. Obviously, I'd be doing that very later in the year. Hopefully, I can get to the point where I'll have some tracks that will be solid enough that I can play to a crowd. But that's obviously something that I look forward to in the near future. I don't know. It should be a great year, honestly. If not the end of this year, by next year, I think the music will definitely start to take off for everyone, not just myself.
Let's talk about black metal.
Oh, good, yeah.
What? Because I know you love the black metal, and you were
That
over
is
here
me,
before we
yes.
started. You were doing some black metal vocals into the microphone.
That is correct. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what draws you to the black metal? What brings you to the dark side? The dark side is what drives me.
Anyway, no, it definitely. I started playing black metal. I guess I didn't get into extreme music until like age 12. So the black metal definitely came maybe a couple of years after age 12. I'd say when I was like turning 15, because my death metal slash black metal project Forest Soul was just getting to its peak around 2015-ish. So I basically was starting to hit more of a transition time where I was kind of shifting from more extreme death metal to, I guess, more of the soul enticing spiritual-esque kind of style. Something like I can connect more to like nature and my surroundings, and I don't know. I just feel a little
You
bit
chose
more.
black metal.
Yeah,
Metal
And I-
Dad approved.
and I definitely didn't just stop at that. I definitely dove head first into absolutely anything that I can get that's black metal related, and that doesn't just stop at like your Norwegian black metal and your Swedish black metal. That goes for like, I mean, there's definitely so many genres, but obviously the ones that I focus more on are more of the instrumental, the ones that kind of take a more nature aspect. So they pull from the elements.
So like
Yeah.
pagan death metal or black metal,
Yeah, I'm not about the satanic stuff, and
like
I mean,
fairy metal.
Basically, yeah.
I approve.
I'm all about living in the woods and stuff like that. So basically, it definitely takes that kind of turn when you listen to my stuff. And I do have 2 or 3 tracks, like a handful of tracks that I have recorded that kind of resembles the feel that I'm trying to get from it.
I didn't know there was that kind of death metal. That's my kind of death metal.
The Fae.
Yeah. No, it's very.
Badass.
I talk to the Fae
As
all
we
the
light
time.
the fire.
It's definitely. I got a lighter right here if you need one. Well, it's right here. That would be your better option.
Let's do a sound check on Chris's mic. Is that better? That sounds like it might be a little bit better. Might be a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more gay for ya.
Just a wee bit.
I need to hear you in the back of my head.
Hey man, you got to put this up close to the screen. Show them what we're gonna light the fire with.
There you go.
That's the piece of lumber that's gonna make it all come together.
That is what's going to heat us.
That and about 40 different splinters.
Yeah, you like those splinters on fire, man.
Fire, 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 fire. I need a TV for my bunghole. TV. Need TV for my bunghole. My bunghole will not wait. Light fire, fire.
So you're talking about fairy black metal. Now that is a subgenre that I don't think I've ever heard of before.
Yeah, it's totally a new thing, man.
Black metal of the woods.
Yeah.
I am totally into that.
Well, I mean, like
That's-
I was kind of saying earlier, I'm not really into like the satanic thing. I mean, I guess that's kind of where a lot of people will most likely assume that's my direction, considering my name is Luciferium. But
Well, that just means the light bearer.
yeah. So
He's not actually the devil.
yeah, and I'm not really taking that real route on it. So basically, I'm considering it's just gonna be me mostly, and I'm not gonna have vocals. So it's just gonna mostly be instrumental.
I feel like we need a blue tinge.
Yeah, what's that?
I'll show you. You just keep talking. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking out loud.
Basically, my goal is to hopefully be able to play tracks live, and it's only going to be backing tracks. But my main goal is to try to bring the feel of nature and
The
atmosphere
blue tinge.
to that's my favorite color. That makes
Oh,
me feel
well,
good.
there you go.
I call it the moonlight. I actually have one that sits actually directly above my drum kit.
I remember seeing that. I wish we could put up pictures of your kit right now. We'll probably have to come back through and edit it later and put some
Oh, yeah.
pictures up. And we'll share onto the Morningstar page. We'll share all over Facebook and Instagram pictures of the Blasphemers kit for all you drumming geeks.
The legendary Blue Thunder.
So, what brought you to drumming? Why drums?
My dad.
It always starts with the old man, apparently.
The old man got me started with it all, honestly. Thanks for him. If it wasn't for my dad, honestly, I wouldn't be in the shoes that I'm in. So I have him to thank for pretty much all of my drumming experience.
Credit where credit's due, then, I guess.
Absolutely. And he's still playing today.
Is he now?
Absolutely is.
Good for him.
I'm not quite sure the project name where I'd give him a shout out, but yeah, my old man's still playing shows and playing with a band and everything, so he's still rocking the kit.
Rocker.
Yeah.
Or I actually meant to say Roger.
It
Roger that.
means, well, technically the same thing,
But yeah, rocker came out better.
but no, that's basically where it started. And so my dad got me started on drums at age 3, and didn't have a drum kit at that time. So obviously I was just air drumming, and he had sticks lying around, so I basically could drum on any surface that I could get. So what ended up happening is my mom showed me how to use the VHS and showed me how to rewind, press play, and all that stuff. So my first cassette ever, and this was before age 3, she showed me how to run the VHS with this Def Leppard Historia cassette.
Oh.
Yeah, and I still have that to this day.
So
So what makes that very
Sexy.
special? Yeah, I know. What makes it very special to me is that I can continue to go back to it and reflect on the history that I've come. because that was the very first VHS tape that I learned to play drums to before my dad had even showed me how to do anything. And so that cassette has a very big sentimental value to me.
Do you remember the lesson on it?
Yeah.
Do you want to show us the lesson?
Well, there's not really like lesson. It's basically the main thing is because all it is just a compilation of a lot of your old official videos, and that's really it. And so basically, what I ended up doing was I was studying it. I wouldn't play any of it. Basically, I would just kind of study it. I would watch it back and back and back until
So you would absorb it through osmosis first.
basically
Okay.
that's basically it. Because I wouldn't be air drumming or anything because I wouldn't know any of that until later on.
Yeah.
So I would my mom would always sit me down in front of it and just watch me for hours, just studying it until I would get to the end. And then as I would go back to the beginning, I would gradually start to engrave the beginnings of each and one of those songs each time I go through it. And eventually, within, I'd say, age 6, I was able to play that whole cassette back to back, front
Wow.
to back, without a drum kit. But and that's also to mention that there was also videos, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, of him playing with his second arm and without his second arm.
Oh wow, cool, old school.
Yeah, and so the coolest thing about learning with that cassette early on is there you go. Oh fuck, we're getting a little bit heated over
Something going on about I don't know, it's the mic or the cable or what.
It could be a combination of anything. Everything's been going array here. We're down one speaker. That's
Yeah.
kinda-
We're down. We're down
We
a
got
leg.
you here, brother.
Yeah.
Well, we got somebody new here in the studio. We're
And the
still-
power of nature metal.
Yeah.
It's got the fire going.
the power of the nature metal, the fire metal.
Fire. Yes, we need it.
Yes.
So after you got started with the Def Leppard, and then what happened? Did you just keep jamming to like recordings, or did your buddies play, or what was the deal?
Well, basically, so what ended up happening is before I even got the chance to get a drum kit or anything, like this is before like my dad even got this drum kit. He still has the same kit that he had when back then. So I don't think it was until like age 8 or age 9 is when he first bought his kit that he has now. And that was when I actually was able to get a lesson properly on the kit from my dad. So it wasn't until then that I actually had the experience on a drum set, but I actually had given like a first act drum set where basically it was like a bass drum, 2 little drums on the side, and a crash cymbal. So you
Perfect.
yeah, and it had like that. If I knew about slam metal back then, I would have fit in perfectly because it just had that real like hollow ring to it,
Yeah.
like you were hitting the top of a trash can.
Yep. Awesome.
I could have recorded Saint Anger with that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Worst snare sound ever.
I mean,
Or best, who yeah, depends who
well,
you ask.
everybody to their own. You know, everybody has their.
Kang.
I want to hear it in my dreams 5 weeks from now.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's
Make my snare sound like tinnitus.
We could have done another 100 episodes and not brought up Saint Anger.
Yeah. I
could've.
don't remember hearing it. Didn't that have fuel on it though?
No.
no?
Fuel.
That was on Reload, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, right.
Reload.
I think that
Load
was
or
the
reload?
point in my life I stopped
Give me
buying,
fuel,
like,
give me fire, give me
recordings.
that which on the side.
Give me food, give me fries, give me salad on the side.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
man.
even better. Woohoo!
But
All right.
what's cool about the Def Leppard thing is that later on in life, like when I started playing drums with Monteith, we actually started to throw together, and it actually wasn't until I became the drummer of that band that they started to enjoy listening to Def Leppard, which is kind of funny because they didn't even really enjoy them until I come apart, which is kind of
Still listening.
interesting. So later on after that, lo and behold, them kind of finding out that I was like really interested in Def Leppard, and like I actually had to show them a few like of my favorite songs to kind of really get them interested in like learning them because they already knew of the band, they just kind of really didn't engage into it as much. So when I brought up like, hey, listen to Woman and Too Late for Love, Die Hard the Hunter. Those were kind of the handful of songs that kind of switched them over into liking them a little bit more, to focus on it. So basically, what ended up happening is that we started to eventually we started to throw together like a cover set of just some Def Leppard tunes, and eventually it turned into something where we actually are kind of we're building a set to the point where we're actually trying to recreate it almost 100%. Like I play the drums where my 100%, like I play the drums where my whole drum kit is set up on the right side. And
So you're actively trying to cover Def Leppard.
I have video footage somewhere out there of my Oramucto set that we did, where I had a electronic foot snare.
Did you
and-
play with one arm too?
Yeah, I did.
That's
and,
fucking cool.
And I do have photos of that I could probably send to you.
Please do, because I've been saging. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been saging all week. I was explaining the blasphemer here earlier.
Yeah.
What was going like,
We always do a sage before every podcast
and
or during.
I like doing it during too. It works out well. This is all gonna fall apart, but whatever. Now I'm being all fucking OCD right now.
I'll keep the fire going.
There you go.
You just want to play with fire right now.
Get your hands in the fire.
You get to play with the fire. But yes, I think you're right there, Chris. A little bit of more saging needs to go. I did sage the doorway, so all you motherfuckers got saged when you walked through and you didn't even know it.
Yes.
And tomorrow is Thunder Palm's Key Gong.
There we go.
For anybody who wants to make it down here in the Fredericton area, who can make it down, our buddy Jamie Norad is hosting it.
Definitely want to partake and make it to that event.
Learn how to manipulate your energy. Use it to heal yourself. I gotta take these fucking hearing aids that they're like beeping in my ear because they're dying. Okay. It's been a rough week, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys have all been feeling it, but I've been feeling the energy just a little bit. I've been on the verge of like, I don't know, it's just weird sadness on the inside.
Yikes.
All week it's just been there. There's just weird fucking sadness, and I could just feel the energy just. So I'm glad that we're here, hanging out, doing the Friday night thing. Do you have any kind of a drum solo or anything that you do? Or have you constructed any kind of like? Because I know you did the drum competition there a few years ago,
Yeah.
and one of the things was like some kind of a drum solo that you had to do for it or something.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's something that I've been trying to put together for a little while now. I haven't really got anywhere close to having something assembled properly, but usually my warm-ups are pretty well a drum solo when you think about it. But that's basically where I end up just starting. I end up just when I warm up my double bass and my hands, I usually end up turning it into a solo. So it goes from fast to mostly all my influences. So yeah.
How long does that usually take you to warm up properly in order to get? Because I know I've seen
That's a good question.
I've seen some of the things that you're doing there, and if you're going to get ready for a show, like how long would you figure it would take you to get warmed up properly so that your joints are all lubed up and you feel comfortable?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a good question because if I'm not using all of my gear per se, like if I wasn't,
Cable right there.
if I didn't just pull up to a venue, for instance, with my drum kit that I have, Blue Thunder, and I had my pedal settings, my cymbal settings, everything that was set up to my preference and wasn't tampered with, it would take me probably a maximum of 5 minutes to warm up to be able to play probably 300 BPM, which is usually my go-to.
Must be nice to be 25 for fuck's sakes.
It's nice, but then every day I wake up, I feel like I'm 45.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That's my body speaking.
That's true. You need to lube your system better then.
I do, but no, honestly.
Hey, I'm
Liquor-
45. I feel better than when I was 25.
Liquor and whores are not how you lubricate your system there, young fella.
Well, it's good because I don't drink and I don't do horrors.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Oh, you're one of them rare non-drinking drummers.
I quit drinking actually, and
That's right. We had that conversation.
Me too,
a few
brother.
weeks
Me
ago.
too.
yeah, I used to enjoy it. But
Yeah,
now I'm
I do.
glad that I kind of stepped back from it because now I can look at it as more of a treat when I'm able to. And when that time comes, when I feel like I'm ready to actually enjoy something like that more socially, I feel like that will be the time for that. But
Yeah.
now I'm focusing on myself, and I don't know. I just feel like drinking kind of would make me result into some prior habits that I'm not really proud of myself for. You know what I mean?
Slippery slope, costs a lot of money,
It is.
hard on the friggin' body.
Yeah.
And you've been talking about wanting to enlighten your soul a little bit, and the first thing everybody does when they get a little bit enlightened or trying to make their way down that spiritual path is well, they cut
Exactly.
alcohol out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's,
I-
sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I kind of feel like I finally hit the spot where I can let it go.
Yeah.
Just don't need it, and I feel like I could have a beer and I'd be fine, but I don't want one.
Right.
I'm
And
fine with it. I'll have a cup of tea.
And that's
I'll do
called
something else.
self-control right there. That's
Yeah.
really good self-control.
Yeah, really, the only vice I got left is coffee.
Yeah.
Once we can get rid of that,
It'll be all good.
Well, I'm preparing for a spiritual kind of journey cleanse coming up soon with a shaman, with a friend. He's going to hook us up, so I'm pretty excited. And one of the things is you have to give something up, and I was going to give up coffee, but I've been doing
No.
cold Hey, I hear you. I do. I very rarely drink Timmy's. You know, it's I don't mind it, but I like organic, fresh pressed. You know, I have French presses. I have the whole setup. I've got the setup in the car right now. I've got some organic grinds as we speak in the truck.
That's awesome.
The only thing I haven't got, I'm going to get a little USB powered kettle so I can boil it on the truck on the job site.
What?
Yeah. Well, think about it. If you have your fresh filtered water, you know, coffee can come with you in the French press. That's
Right.
easy. It's just how do you get the boiling water? You know? But if you have a nice water bottle, and if I had even just like a USB AC adapter, I'll try it.
Right.
I can have a kettle, boil the water. I'm thinking I'm going to get a good one too, where it doesn't boil and you can set the temperature. I can't forget what it is. It's like 90 degrees or something.
Right.
Is ideal. So I want to do like roadside gourmet coffee. So when I'm out on gigs, late night gigs or whatever, right? Just to have those little moments, and you know,
I would be the first person to seek that after a gig. I'd be like, oh my God, someone is serving coffee at like 4 a.m. Oh, yeah.
and imagine even having like just the placebo, even a decaf that you just save for
Yeah.
because it's just like something warm to drink to wake you up on the drive home. Then when you go home, you can crash. And I'm into sailing, so I like it. That's easy. I got on the boat, I have propane burners and stuff. I'm redoing it, but yeah. So where that was going was like, do I give up that vice? And I mean, some people say it's a vice. It is. That's also a pleasure.
Right.
I can put coffee in its place. I can drink it like crazy, or I can say I'll have my 2 in the morning, or I won't. But I'm getting into cold
Not I.
exposure, and I did a cold shower. And the other day I did a Wim Hof technique and I love that breathing stuff. I'm getting into Kundalini yoga and breathing and all that. And that's kind of, instead of smoking pot and drinking, I'm like, okay, I'm that guy now. I'm
Right.
like the Russell Brand guy. Like I'm into yoga. I'm like, okay,
The
that's what I'm
spiritual
into.
guy.
Yeah. But I'm also into chainsaws and shit like that. So
That's sick, man.
I'm a musician. I'm a New Brunswicker. But
You're Canadian.
but to do this process, I had to give something up. So the other day, I was going to do my Wim Hof shower. I was all grubbed up and fooling around in the yard. So I went, well, I'm just going to see if I can do the total soap, wash my hair, everything cold shower. And I did. And it was like just shy of 4 minutes. Now you have a quick shower, but then it hit me. It was like, and then I did a cold bath the next day and the whole cold plunge, and I made it to a couple minutes. And during the cold plunge, I had this music going at 528 megahertz, and I'm up to my neck in freezing cold water and just like breathing and then I went, you're going to give up hot water instead of coffee. So you have to give up for this process. You got to give up something, to spirit, to source, to God, as an exchange for this thing. And I went, and it's something you really like. And I love a hot shower. I love a hot bath. But as of right now, I just gave up hot water, at least for a while.
Well, how are you gonna make coffee then?
No, bathing. So I won't
I
have
know.
Oh
just wanted-
yeah, having totally
Okay,
touche.
I see where you went there.
I just wanted to
touche.
throw that in there, just to.
Yeah. Maybe if I decide this is like the new spiritual journey, maybe I'll have to come up with like some kind of cold brew coffee thing. I don't know. But yeah, for now I still drink my herbal tea and coffee. But I
You
decided,
still
yeah,
do
I'm gonna give up hot water bathing, hot water showers, hot water baths. Everything's ice cold from now on, which is it's good for you though, right? Good for
you still doing your yin yang water?
Yep, in the morning, yeah, half
Nice.
boiled.
I keep forgetting, but I do it here and there.
Yeah.
Gotta remember to do tomorrow because got the Qigong tomorrow. So
Yeah, I've been trying to get the Qigong. I can't make tomorrow either, but I'll be good for next Saturday. Oh well, it depends. When is it? When do we do it?
10:30.
Oh yeah, next Saturday I'll be good. I'll be good because I only teach every
That
second
church
Saturday.
on Westmoreland and
So
Charlotte. Westmoreland
Yeah.
and Charlotte. There's a little church and a little gym in there that we do it in.
cool.
Nice.
Last week was our first week. It was cold as shit in there. We went down the fucking. We all were going down the line, and we got to the end, and we all looked at our fucking hands, and they were all purple. We're like, we're gonna make sure the heat's on next time.
Holy.
Yeah.
That's
It was a good time though. Like, you know,
That's pretty cool.
learn some new stuff.
Interesting. I never even knew that was down there.
It just started.
Yeah.
Like our buddy Jamie literally just started. He's the instructor.
Right.
Or whatever. I don't know what they're gonna call it.
So it's a new operation, eh?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Nice. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, he's been doing it a while. Last week was the first one, wasn't it?
Last week was the first one, but he's got probably about 10, 20
He's
years
been at it for
experience.
years, and his dad did it.
His
before
dad
him.
was a Qigong master. I don't know if we
Wow.
would call it master or what to call it. I
That's
don't really
pretty
know the
sweet.
lingo or anything, and Jamie will correct me as we go along. But
definitely a practitioner for sure.
yeah,
Oh, that makes sense.
you know, so he wants this kind of what he wants to do is he wants to have a place where everybody can come once a week and do some Qigong, and he wants to create some kind of like a system where you feel like you're earning your way through, but not really, because traditionally Qigong you don't really do it that way,
Right.
which actually is not a good thing because you need to go there and have focused practice, and you need to have somebody there when you're first learning how to do all of this stuff. You can't.
Right.
But for years, it was just like, yeah, you can learn all the basics in a weekend, and here you go, and then off. Apparently, then you were level 1 qualified or some shit.
It's nice to be able to collect techniques, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff you can do and have your routines and see what.
Because
you
there's more than
prefer.
one way to skin a cat,
Exactly.
right? So,
Exactly.
and
So-
everything does something different too, right? And you can't realistically pass all of the information on
Right.
in one sitting.
So to bring it back to the drumming, so here's the question: are you a rudiments guy? Yes or no?
I can do rudiments.
Okay. Do you do them as part of your routine, or
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't focus on them as much as a lot of other drummers do, but
Yeah.
because obviously I didn't start out as like theory and all of that stuff. I
kind
was,
of classical or whatever? If you
yeah.
will.
I wasn't taught from a professional teacher. My dad, I consider a professional.
Mhm.
So I was mainly shown by visuals and being shown hands-on behind the drum set when that time came.
Right.
So basically, I didn't really focus on that stuff until later on when I became the drummer for Monteith, because they were starting to write more progressive stuff that was kind of calling for that type of drumming,
Right.
and so that kind of got me into this more like polyrhythmic sort of style, and like Dream Theater and Tool and that
To me,
type
though,
of stuff.
doing rudiments of even basic stuff is fine.
Right,
It's like if you want to be a boxer, you're gonna have to do push-ups and sit-ups,
exactly.
and you can fucking
You're gonna have to learn
debate your way.
combinations.
You can debate your way and blah 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 and try and new pseudoscience your way out of that shit.
exactly.
And any good fighter would be like, yeah, good luck with that. You can do fucking push-ups and sit-ups, buddy.
Right.
Like it works. And rudiments are just that for the drums. I play drums as well. I'm not a great drummer, and I don't do a whole lot of rudiments. But even just to warm up, even just before, once the kit's set up, just kind of get your feet going and left paradiddles. You know,
Yeah.
I did them for a period to like get to a point where okay, now I can hold the drums down.
Right.
You know, I had to make sure I could do them and I could get up to a certain BPM. I did them a bit when I was a kid, but yeah, it never hurts.
No.
You know, you don't have to be. And some guys are awesome at it and real masters at it. You know,
Well,
like
some
your-
some of these guys out there make me cry.
Oh yeah, especially the metal guys. Some
Oh
of
my
them- Some of those.
gosh.
It's funny. Such rebellious music, but some of those guys are the most disciplined
Yes.
people of all. And
Look at
You know.
look at the concentration it takes to get the skill level to do half of, or even just a fraction of what those guys do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like something
The
like
control.
a Slipknot or something, right? I'm not a huge fan, but you can't deny the. Well, I mean, there's not even denying it. Just it is what it is.
Right.
It's very technical, demanding. It's clean. They do it right every time.
Yep.
Like you know that guy does tons of
Yeah.
drum of rudiments. I'm sure.
You're talking Slipknot, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Even Joey Jordison and after Joey Jordison, Jay. I'm not even gonna pronounce his last name. Yeah. There you go.
What?
They are both like Jay resembles Joey's playing so well. I think he was probably the greatest fit that could have come after
wow.
Joey. So I'm very happy to see that band continue on.
Does he
with
still
him,
do the thing that Joey did with the pentagram spinning?
with the rotating riser and such? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm pretty sure he does. It would be really awesome if he still continued that on from Joey because that was just a staple point in their.
Was it like the Tommy Lee going upside down?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So his
It
drum
was
riser.
a spinning pentagram.
Yeah. So basically, it looked like it was on. It was basically a cylindrical platform, and what happened is it rose up, and it would rotate 360 degrees when he was going up. But when he would get up to a certain point, he would have his drum kit face the crowd. But the way that thing was constructed was it would be able to spin 360 degrees, but it also tilted upwards like that. But it only tilted that one way.
Still, that's a trip.
Yeah. So I mean, he could be spinning still, but still it would tilt up that way. Whether he would,
He only did like one rotation too, didn't he?
yes, he was facing forward, and then he did one full rotation until I think he was like facing upwards, or I think it was a half rotation.
Was
Maybe.
it a half rotation?
Yeah, because then when he was going down, he was facing away from the crowd, and then he did the full other rotation while it was still flat.
That's a trip.
Okay.
Cool though.
It is.
Yeah.
Like that was probably one of the coolest drum solo performances I think I've ever seen, and it was on the Disaster Piece DVD. I'm pretty sure it was.
I can't remember, but that sounds about right. About the first time that I would have seen it
I think it
too.
was like 2008 or something like that.
Yeah, it was fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I've been
no,
watching hip hop guys getting into metal, and then they
Yeah.
watch that video, and they're just. It's funny watching people's brains explode
Yeah.
and they realize what metal is all about and then what people in the metal world do and shit like that. And they're just all like,
Yeah.
I
No,
actually
exactly.
watched one guy get fully converted from a hip hop head into a complete metal head, and
Yeah.
then even went back and said, I can't even listen to hip hop anymore. It's just too simple.
Wow. That's just the way it is.
And he's just like, fuck.
When you find that one thing that just clicks with your inner clock, it just sticks with you.
When you see some old Bobby Brown concerts and Zorro playing drums and shit. That motherfucker.
Oh, metal's not the only place. You're right.
That's what
Drumming is drumming.
that
Yeah.
blew my mind. Are you familiar with Zorro?
I'm not sure if I
He
am.
he was a big drummer in the 80s and 90s. He played with Bobby Brown and all these like R&B and soul artists
Okay, yeah.
coming
yeah.
out of the 70s and 80s and stuff.
Right.
And he has this book called The Commandments of R&B Drumming. And I barely went through it. One of these days when I get my drum kit set up in a place again, I want to just hammer through it, you know.
That would be sick.
And it's all ghost notes and you just hear
Oh, that just staple point of
But
the groove.
underneath his right hand is going. There's all these weird
Like a
asymmetrical. Whoa!
We've been Hannah'd.
What's going on?
Let's hear SpongeBob drop some
SpongeBob
bars.
drop-
Well,
Bars.
why not?
Yes, sir.
Double time.
There it is.
Oh man,
That was sick.
nice.
That was
And there we go, the random act of Hannah with a TikTok video and everything.
You too.
Later. Well, there we go. This interruption was brought to you by TikTok. SpongeBob throwing bars.
At 150 BPM.
We gotta go unmute your guitar. So, Chris, did you write us a maritime tune for the rainy day?
No, I had the whole day on the phone with the bank trying to solve credit problems. Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer.
Boo earns.
Yeah. So, there it is. But I could always write one while we're having a chat.
That sounds like a maritime tune right there.
There it is.
Surely does.
There it is.
There she
That's how my mom always says it. There it is. Yeah, there she be. There it is. There she be.
We head on
Another
down
day
to
in
the
the
pub
life
there.
for me. Well, there we go. I guess I found the chorus. There it is. There she be. Another day in the life for me. I'm trying to embrace the maritime thing. It's one of those things you run away your whole life. It's like, oh, I'll play salsa, I'll play funk, I'll play heavy metal, I'll play this, I'll play blues, I'll play country, I'll do anything but write maritime music.
See,
Oh yeah, where's your family from? Newfoundland. Right? It's like,
there
fuck.
it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I never did replace the battery. Shit. Doesn't sound distorted though, does it?
Yeah.
It was the speaker after all. Okay.
Gotta either tear it apart or bring it in to get fixed. I don't know.
There
which
it
one.
is.
We're
might-
down a man. We're down one leg.
So, what was your chorus again?
There it is. There she be. Another day in the life for me.
Ooh,
That's pretty pretty
Yeah.
dry then.
that was gold right there. Maritime tunes of a windy day. Well, it's not really. It's now springtime, but it's raining all day.
You heading on down to the bay in May,
I'm heading on down to the bay in May.
but it's raining all day.
She's not bad, not fast, not quite me yet, but close.
It's almost their Easter, so
I'm from Fredericton.
We kind of have a bay here, sort of.
we have a river.
We have a river, yeah. I guess we don't have. Well, we have garage bays. I hang out in a lot of garage bays. Just end up in a lot of garage bays.
Nice.
Garage
That's
bay.
actually, there's something down there. Heading down to hang in the bay.
Well, it's either
But I live on the river, so it's a garage, I say. So to the garage, I say. There we go.
So to the garage, I say, because we're inland, not by the bay.
That's coming together.
It's how we roll on the East Coast. Can't always be sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it rains.
And sometimes she blows.
In some places, it only rains.
It's that gloomy kind of a day there, I guess. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice and sunny, so we'll see how that goes.
Really? That'd be a good day to get out and take a stroll on the good old walking trail.
Get out into the nature, get out in the woods. I was
Yeah.
told that I have to do that.
Oh, it's good for the soul.
But I live in the woods, so it's just like, meh.
I live in the sticks.
I live in the woods.
I found my soul out there.
I am there all the time.
I found a soul, but I left my backpack out there.
Why would you leave a backpack out there?
I don't know. I had to exchange something. It's the only thing I had. Yeah.
And who'd you trade it with?
I don't know. He didn't really say who he was. He
Just appeared out of the ether and then left?
well, it probably would have helped if I was just looking where I was going.
Was your bong in the backpack?
Luckily not, because I was still sessioning. Meaning
you-
that person probably did come from.
Are you
out of
sure
nowhere.
you saw what you saw?
Probably not.
Well, there we go. There she blows, there she goes.
I was probably robbed by a forest fairy.
Those forest fairies, you gotta be tricky.
Yeah.
So do you think they're real, or are you saying that in the exaggeration? Oh,
Is it?
it is 2022. You never know what people are going to think about.
Oh no, the fae are real.
I'm leaning on it.
I know that they are.
There.
I didn't see one, but I felt one the other day. And then they're always here around the house all the time.
That's interesting.
They actually stole a ring.
Yes, sir.
And my fucking nose fucking things. I had an electric set and they're fucking went missing. And then
I
the
had
ex-
someone tell me, he swore by, this is out in Stanley. He was on his property and he left, I think it was a set of pruners, like real nice ones, the kinds he always keeps track of. And it's your house, you might leave tools around, but like,
You always
you
know
know,
where it is.
yeah, you're like, okay, it's on the step, it's on this, right? He
Right.
had it and he put it in his usual spot. And he came back next morning, it was gone. Son of a bitch. He was real pissed, looked all over and thought, oh, maybe my kid hit it or something. As they do.
Sometimes.
A week
Yeah.
later, it's back in the same spot.
That's
Wow.
Faye. They're tricksy little hobbits. They are.
That would annoy me for some reason. I would it'd make me feel like I'm going insane.
yeah, kind of like.
Because I feel like I've had that happen to me before.
Sometimes it makes you wonder. You kind of go back, you hear a story like that, you
Yeah.
get that sort of, I just not noticed that,
That's kind of
or
what I'm thinking. Like as soon as you said that, it's like,
'cause sometimes you look things over and you just don't see them,
Right.
or you forget where you put them. But then
My-
there's certain things where like they're gone, and then it comes back. That's different.
then you don't want to accuse anybody because it's
No.
like, how do you really? Like that person wasn't even anywhere near
It's always the Fae.
here.
I had
Well,
something happen to me today, but I
always.
definitely I can't blame it on them. I went and started my vehicle and went in the house to grab
Well,
my cup of
sometimes
coffee,
it's not.
and then I unlocked the vehicle because it was unlocked because I got in and started it, and then I came back out and it was locked with the key in the ignition and the spare key also in the car locked, and it was
Oh.
son of a Jeesley whore.
How'd you manage to get back in there?
Called CAA. Luckily, my buddy had it, and they came out and did it for free. Otherwise, it would have been like $100.
Holy crap.
But I learned my lesson.
I hope so.
I will not be leaving the spare key in there, or it will be either in the house or in my jacket, probably my work jacket, whatever. So that no matter
Well, it's
what,
a brand new vehicle. So
yeah,
you're
new to me, and
Yeah,
I was
so-
just gonna say, holy figures, it's a new vehicle then.
I've only had it 2 days, and and it's not
That
like the
explains
brand new
why.
latest high tech, so it's not like
So it doesn't have the anti-lock
any
thing.
of that shit.
Because I know
yeah.
I can't lock my keys in the car.
Other than the upside with my old car, which was a 2020 Hyundai, beautiful Kona, ultimate and everything. It started with your cell phone, blah, blah, everything. But if you
Whoa.
started the car, you couldn't lock it. So somebody could get in and try and steal your car and they wouldn't get far, but you couldn't lock it. So I couldn't, like, in the winter, leave it running for 5 minutes and leave my wallet in the car or anything, right? You had to stop it and turn it off. And then you'd have to remote start it, sort of thing. That was a pain in the ass. So
Kinda
now I'll be able to start the car and just make sure, triple check, got the spare key in my pocket, touch the pants, there's no holes. Okay, everything's a go. Before I close the door, is it again in your pocket? Quadruple check. Yes, locked. So now I'll be able to do that.
Nice.
So there's going to be quite a dance.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I've never worried about that. One, because I don't leave my wallet in my car ever. And
There you
two,
go.
I live in Canada, and if you want to steal my car, then I guess whatever.
Yeah, but it's more like my guitar.
Well,
Or
that's
something.
okay.
Something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
that's
That would
true.
be easy for some asshole to just be like, whoop.
That's mine.
Yeah, you never know. And guitars are tempting because any drug dealer will take it.
And they know they can make a quick buck off it.
Yes, you can get $100 out of a guitar, especially if it's half decent, and you can smoke that away in
Well,
a heartbeat.
okay. Now you're poking holes in my story, and I get it.
Well, and I always have, almost 95% of the time of my adult life, have had an instrument in the car. Like I don't go
I don't
many
keep it-
places without an instrument, right? Especially because that's what I did for work my whole life. So I'm
Yeah, that's
going to
true.
work, I'd bring a guitar, like drums or something, but it's almost always a guitar.
Yeah,
And
I get
I
it.
like gig bags, so it's like, it's gift wrap. It's got a handle. It's everything. You can put it on your bike and cruise away.
fair enough.
So I did
Yeah.
make it convenient for them.
I guess my excuse is I only put things in my car when I need to put them in the car.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, everybody's got their own life. Maybe I should have a verse about that.
But-
It's getting a guitar stolen. I don't know. Let's see.
You could weave that in there.
I'm pretty sure you could.
Well, I already got the first verse, so we're good there. We got the chorus.
Now you got me thinking about all the times. No, I
I'm gonna
always
do a
lock
little,
my car
little
anyway.
bridge
Yeah.
there. A little.
I always put everything in the trunk too, right? Because I always had kids in the back seat, so anything was in my car was never really visible.
Right. I've only actually locked my keys in my car once, and it was when I was at work on my break, and I had literally like 20 minutes, and I was parked outside a stupid Tim Hortons. So here I am, rocking you like a hurricane. Uh,
Here I am.
so I was here. I was parked outside the freaking Tim Hortons, and I literally got out, locked my door like I usually do, and it doesn't have any electric locks or windows or any of that stuff. So it's definitely old. So I got in Tim Hortons, and I'm coming back out, and as I'm coming out with my coffee, I do the old grand search for my pockets for my keys.
Yep.
As I'm getting up to my door, I'm just like, well, I haven't found my keys yet. That seems to be an issue. Oh, I just take a look down, and there they are, sitting on my driver's seat.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Now,
That moment
Oh.
that will forever be etched in your mind. Eh? You
it
can,
was. and
You
it
can
still
picture it right
is.
now, can't you? It's right there.
Yeah. The freaking sheer fact that it was literally within reach, sitting on the driver's seat, and I
Yeah.
was so mad, and I literally bent the top of my door frame because I had my freaking hands in there reaping on it to get something in behind it, and I did because somebody was actually pulling in behind me with a truck, and they were just sitting there drinking their coffee, and I just kind of they saw me literally bend my door frame all to heck, and they were like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, if you come over here and take a look down, you'll see what I'm doing. Me just right off my
Yeah.
freaking handle.
Yeah.
And well, they were like, okay, well, maybe we might have something that we could fish out of there. And so she went back.
Oh,
and,
excellent.
yeah. So she went back, and literally the only thing that I needed was a coat hanger. And sure enough,
Yep.
she found one. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes. Well, it took us pretty much like 15 minutes to get that. And I mean, it was a painstaking process.
Yeah.
But the feeling I got when I hooked that
Oh
key
yeah,
ring,
baby, eh?
and he wasn't pulling it up hard enough, and he was all worried about my gasket, the door gasket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I grabbed a hold of that and I reefed it right through, and I didn't care if I was going to pull that thing apart or not. I wanted my keys, so I could
Yeah,
get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
So I
Especially at
reefed
that
her
point,
through,
right? Yeah.
And didn't tear it, but
I can
I
see the look on your face.
oh man, I put both hands on it. I wasn't holding back. I just wanted my keys back because the anxiety attack that I had. I was
Yeah.
probably on. I don't know. I felt like I was kicked in the gut like several times because I was approaching the time limit where I had to get back to work,
Yeah.
and I'm the kind of guy that I just don't like that kind of feeling being.
It's the worst. Yeah.
And so my anxiety was already through the roof, and the panic attack when my keys were sitting there on my driver's seat set in, and I was just kind of like, well, shit, what am I gonna do? So I destroyed my car frame, like my door frame, a little bit to get it out, but I did.
Worth
And I-
it.
Yeah, it was.
Worth it.
I got back within 2 minutes, a little bit like 2 minutes past, so it wasn't really a big deal. So I was still happy,
No,
but
that's good. Oh
Very
yeah, and a great story, and you'll always have that moment.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I had that moment this morning.
I'm not gonna jinx it, so I'm knocking on wood
Good.
Okay.
Good call.
because I
So-
haven't had this problem yet.
You
No,
don't
I'm not
want
even-
to deal with it.
Well, now my vehicle I can't. So
You got the anti-lock thing, don't you?
plus I don't even actually put my keys into the ignition; they just stay in my pocket.
Right. And you just push button.
Yeah, it's all push button shit.
That's pretty freaking cool.
I've had push button for like what, fucking 6 years now. Even the car before this was push button, and the car before that was all push button.
Wow.
I haven't fucking
High tech.
kind of high speed, low drag.
Right. I mean, that's still pretty freaking cool. I didn't know they actually made push button start vehicles all the way back. How long? You saying it again?
I'm trying to remember if my Dodge Journey was push button or not. I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure. It
What
might
year
not
was
have
it?
been.
Was it like a 2008?
No, it wasn't that far back.
No. So yeah, okay. That's
We're talking like 20,
15.
2012,
Okay, so
2011. No, it would have been probably at least a 2010. And then I had a 2016 Sonata,
okay.
and that was all push button.
Huh.
In 2016, yeah. I actually got it from the Honda here. I actually traded it in for the Hyundai Sonata I have now.
Nice. That's a nice car you got
Yeah, it is a nice car. It's not worth the money I pay for it.
there.
I'm
That's what
really
you were
fuck,
saying.
like I could fucking get such a better car for the amount of money that I have, but the way I can't complain about something that I got myself into because that's the way the banking system worked before fucking it worked.
Right.
So I've had very bad luck with financing vehicles my whole fucking life, but whatever. I get to drive vehicles.
Well,
Fuck it.
you get to go from point A to point B, so that's mainly what counts.
Exactly. I even gorilla taped my fucking car back together because I fucking got into a little bit of an accident there.
Well, at
Little-
least you chose the good tape and not the duct tape.
Well, duct tape. Hey, don't you knock duct tape, okay?
I'm not.
You're no, let's tread carefully here, blasphemer.
Okay, look, I've used so much duct tape on all my drum kits except for Blue Thunder, and I will not bash it, but I will say when you need to use it on an automotive vehicle, I would always go over
Gorilla
duct
tape.
tape and go right for the Gorilla Tape.
I agree. I love the gorilla tape. You know, it's just as good as duct tape, and it's actually in between duct tape and gorilla tape is gun tape.
Yeah.
Duct tape.
I didn't even know what duct tape was until I was like 20,
Yeah,
because I grew up in military kids. So
military uses.
gun tape was everything. You fixed
Yeah.
everything with gun tape. Your backpack, your shoes.
Oh yeah, way better than duct tape too.
So you say there's an in between the duct tape and Gorilla Tape.
Yeah,
So is it like either like what do you mean between? Is it like the sticky, the adhesive? Is it more between, or is it like the outer?
It's adhesive. It rips easier.
it's
Which I
it's
love.
tougher.
okay.
Yeah.
It's tougher than. Okay, think of it like thickness.
Right.
Right. So duct tape is like really thin and flimsy, right? Like
Barely, you can tear it really
it's
easily.
like it's almost like paper.
Yeah.
Right. Gun tape is just a little bit thicker and it's a little bit chewier.
So it's almost like 2-ply duct tape.
Kind of. It's like heavy duty duct tape.
Okay.
And then so if gorilla tape is like duct tape on steroids, gun tape would be duct tape working out.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So like it's got a little bit more girth, a little more
Right.
beef because it's for weapons, right? Gun tape.
Right.
It's got to deal with a little bit more heat
right.
than
Okay.
duct tape does, right?
That's-
On a general basis.
That would be good for using on drum kits.
Yeah. So like Chris was saying, like all I knew was gun tape. And then all of a sudden I learned about duct tape from watching fucking Red Green. I was like, I've never used that shit. But I got some and I was just like, I've never actually bought duct tape because I was too used to gun tape.
Right.
And even until I ran out of gun tape, that's all I ever used.
When I moved
Until
out of my
Gorilla Tape.
parents' house, that's when I learned about duct tape. It was like, oh, no more free tape from the military.
Yeah, it was,
Oh.
Jeez, it's not around. I gotta buy this. And I remember going to Canadian Tire. It was like, or I might have been working there as a teenager or something. It was like, duct tape. What's that? What do you mean,
poor,
duct tape?
poor man's
And I kind of
gun
put
tape.
two and two together. Like, oh yeah, that's what normies use.
That's what
Yeah.
civilians use.
Oh, I'm a normie. Shit, I'm a Civvy Street. Right, I'm on Civvy Street.
Well,
now.
fucking civvy now, you
Yeah.
dirty fuck. You're like, you can't even get gun tape anywhere.
Yeah.
Really?
You can only get gun tape in the military. And they even have different colors for it and everything now. It's fucking all fucking high speed, low drag.
That'd be cool.
But
That'd be
still, Gorilla Tape is still the way to go.
Yeah.
So and that's what we mean. Like, so in Gorilla Tape, you know how thick it is. So imagine the middle brother in between the two of them.
That'd be pretty ideal for a lot of things when you think about it, because it's hard to find the in between when it comes between those two things.
Oh, I wonder if do I have any? I have enough friends that I could probably get some. Oh fuck! I could just get Casey. Fuck yeah! I still got hookups in the army. I can get
There you go.
gun tape. I'll get some gun tape and I'll show it to you.
That would be sick. I'd love to see what it actually looks like. 'Cause I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, it's fucking really good. It's not as good as Gorilla Tape though.
Right.
Right. So like I'm pretty impressed with Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape's pretty high speed, low drag.
That's sick though.
It's just not tactical.
What I always found about gun tape, I switched over to duct tape though, was gun tape. It was like if you ripped a little piece, maybe I just remember this though. It always ripped where you like, you just rip straight, and you could always cut
Just
off
like
little
Gorilla
chunks
Tape.
and little
Okay.
strips wherever you wanted. Just did what you wanted.
Yeah.
Then when I went to duct tape, it was like, son of a bitch, why? What's wrong with this shit?
It would
This is
start
cheap."
straight and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Gun tape doesn't do that, and that's
No?
where Gorilla Tape got its ability to do that from. Is actually probably from gun tape,
Right.
because you, like Chris was saying, you could literally take like the strip of Like, so it's probably about this thick, right?
Right.
You could actually take like and make 4 or 5 little strips, and it would all rip perfectly straight all the way down.
Yeah, duct tape that little
No
those little
fucking-
seams and threads. They always when you tear it, it just freaking
Like even
threads itself.
yeah, and even Gorilla Tape's a little bit. It's hard. It does the same thing.
Yeah, but not
But
as
it's a
often.
little bit harder, and it's a little bit harder to kind of get it fine tuned
Yeah.
the way that you can with gun tape. It's really easy with gun tape, and it's a little bit
Great.
stickier even than duct tape.
That's some good stuff right there.
It's just not Gorilla Tape, so.
right. Which makes sense.
But now you know about gun tape, and you didn't know that before.
No, I did not. And honestly, that's pretty damn cool. I will
You
say.
had no idea that it even existed. And I wish I had some to share with you, but I've been using my Gorilla Tape over there, so I haven't really had any gun tape.
That's all good. I don't use tape anymore on my drum kits except for markers tape, which
Okay.
marks all my hardware that is on my rack and like specific components that are not mounted to my rack system, like my ride stand and like my pedals. All those things are marked with a specific color coding tape.
Yep.
So that way I can always pinpoint which all my things go together. So that's basically all I would basically use.
I only use two types of tape either. So I use gun or Gorilla Tape, and I use hockey tape.
Hockey tape, yeah,
Hockey tape is also one of the most versatile things you could ever fucking have.
definitely, I agree.
I love it.
I used to put it on my drumsticks to use as grips.
Perfect.
And until because the only problem with that is that I sweat a lot, and the adhesive
Oh, yeah,
would come
yeah.
through, and it would get my hands and the sticks would just be ruined.
Yeah.
And so I actually started using like the foam rubber, like actual grip wraps.
Okay.
They're expensive. Trust me, that's not like very fun to have to buy a whole bunch. But like if you can accumulate like a handful, like 10 pairs,
Yep.
you can reuse them and just use electrical tape to tie the ends of
Really?
each end, and then they're fine until they start to tear. But I've been using the same pair on I think 3 different pairs of drumsticks right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I never thought to do that.
They last so much, and I'm telling you, when you'll notice that the sticks will stay in your hands even if you're sweaty. They also absorb a lot of the impact from when you're hitting heavy cymbals, like freaking. You can hit a 24-inch heavy bell ride. Like you can hit the edge of this table, and the grips take a lot of that blunt force. It's like when you wrap an aluminum bat, and the grips,
What's it called again?
drumstick grips.
Drumstick grips. Okay. For a sec, sorry, I was half listening because I was writing this song. I thought you were talking about Gorilla Snot. You know that stuff? Gorilla Snot. It's awesome. It's that. You ever heard of it? I know it's ridiculous.
It
Name.
just the way
It's
that
true,
you
though.
came in with that, I couldn't. I was just like,
It
what
is.
the
It's awesome. Remember,
fuck?
that stuff's great. You ever tried it?
I don't think I have.
Gorilla Snot is stuff for drummers, and it comes in a little container, and you put it on, and it's like if your hands get sweaty, it has a slightly sticky. Like I could probably pick up a pick like that,
Right.
and it won't wear off, and but it's not too sticky that you can grab your drums. You won't, and if you're sweaty, it won't matter.
Okay.
They'll always have this nice grip, and you'll never lose them. But you know, you got to wash your hands really good when it's done. 'Cause
Right.
it's otherwise, it's like you go to like rub your hands, you're like, you can't quite do
I
it.
lit a
right?
cigarette, and it's like
Yeah, exactly, right? Suppose that'd be awesome. Put a little bit on your cigarette so when you're playing, you can have it hanging off your bottom lip. But yeah, no, but so you're not talking about Gorilla Snot. They're grips for
Yeah.
drums, like stick grips. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're basically.
Now I'm going to buy you some Gorilla Snot just so you can have some.
At first, I thought you were joking, then you went serious.
I know.
I still stand by my laughing because I was perfectly
Some
timed.
guitar players use it for picks too. You just put it on a couple fingers, and if you have a problem dropping picks,
It's
and
like
it
an
just,
anti-slip.
yep, keeps it right, especially if you're sweaty or whatever, and it works amazing.
Sounds like if
Really
I make
does.
fun of that, I'm going to start dropping my picks all the time and need it just so the universe would fuck with me. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to say anything.
I was just gonna say, like you
Not gonna
started
jinx
on it, and now you might have just jinxed yourself, but I think you're in the clear.
No, I didn't jinx myself.
No.
I talked about what I was thinking about doing, and I didn't do it.
Well, I'm gonna get you something to bring you out of your funk. You'll get some whenever you're feeling down. You just look at like Gorilla Snot. And you start using it, and then you'll start putting it on things around the house. So when the kids pick it up, they're like, "Jeez!"
Heck?
Like on their phone, they go to scroll, and they're like, "I can just see it now." Like, what the?
Jeez.
It'd be awesome if it was clear. What a great trick! Put that on the bottom. Not even the whole phone, just the bottom where they go to put their thumb on. They just can't scroll. All of a sudden they're screwed. I told you to put that fucking phone down.
And now it's coming back after you.
Oh, the idea is
Gorilla snot.
I could totally fuck with Ethan with that. It would be great.
Oh, you know, be the worst. Put it on the toilet seat.
Oh my
Can you imagine
god.
the girl?
Oh,
Because you imagine, you know, like that feeling of like when your skin catches. I'm sure you don't notice how you slide around on the seat. And all of a sudden you sit down. It's just like, ah! That's a nasty trick. Oh, that's got jackass written all over it, right? Man.
You mix that with the little
Oh, I gotta
super
start touring again.
glue. Oh yeah. Do the hotel room
Yeah.
toilet.
That's what you do to the bus.
I could just hear some poor long-haired bastard. I picture the voice of your band and just, you know, one of the all hungover. Ah! Walking out like this.
I do need to talk to Sean and Daniel because I remember years ago we talked about some WWF style things.
Yeah.
And
We'll set up a wrestling ring in the backyard.
we should definitely do a podcast where we
Grab
have a
some
ring
water.
set up.
Oh, that would be sick.
Oh man, the things that we could do in this yard and with the right stuff.
Honestly,
If
if it had the actual ropes and turnbuckles, I would totally be down to jump in that ring.
like I was also saying before, buckets and gloves.
I suppose.
Buckets and gloves in the in the big ring.
Yeah.
Did you know the Undertaker retired?
No.
He's in the fucking Hall of Fame now.
I saw the Hall of Fame thing, but I didn't know he retired.
Did he? Maybe he didn't retire, but is he? He's in the Hall of Fame now.
Well, good on him. It's well deserved.
Well,
Definitely well deserved.
it's the Taker, man.
Yeah. Isn't
Like-
Kane in there too?
I
Or
don't
did
think
he not make it yet?
I don't think Kane would be in there before the Taker.
No.
The
But
Taker's just shutting her down too. But Kane's like,
he's in
isn't
the
he the-
office now. Like he's not really wrestling. I don't think too much. I haven't been.
I thought
keeping
he
up
was
with
some
it.
kind of a politician or something.
Oh, he is. I'm pretty sure he still is.
Is he still a politician?
Yeah, that I know of. I
What
think
state?
that's a good question. I only see a couple of odd things come up on my Facebook.
The Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, because I follow like the WWE, WWF, and WWE stuff online. So anytime I see a bunch of random stuff come on, like history, and I'll click in on it. Sometimes I get past that same ad and into another one, and sometimes I'll see
You go down
new
a
things.
rabbit hole. Next thing you know, you're going.
Yeah. There's the Ultimate Warrior. And
I actually saw a wicked quote from the Ultimate Warrior that I can't paraphrase or quote today, but
yeah,
it was pretty awesome.
bro.
The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior is the shit, man.
And everybody thought, how many times has he died?
I don't know.
Or are we living in parallel universes?
He probably is a freaking from a parallel universe.
Man, I watched a fucking, was it a TikTok video on the Mandela effect and all the
Uh-oh.
different things that have, like, the list of things that have changed. And I'm just
Okay.
like, what the fuck? Because all the timeline shifts, like, I swear to God, C3PO was the same fucking color.
I don't remember no silver leg.
You know, right?
Wait, what?
So C3PO has a silver leg now.
Yeah.
But apparently he never did. I don't remember him ever having a silver leg, but now they say you
I
go
remember
back.
him always being like a yellowish gold copper,
Yeah.
like that.
One
Yellow,
color.
Yeah, one color. I don't. So he has a leg that's.
If you
silver,
watch Star Wars now,
like the newest one.
doesn't matter which one. You watch any Star Wars movie with C3PO in it, one of his legs is like a silvery color. Almost like a white gold.
What the hell?
Now, in their defense, I mean, he was taken apart and put together. That is kind of the fun part about him.
Yeah.
I
That-
get
but
it.
I still don't remember that.
But he
It's
was-
just fucking me up
he was
that all of a
al-
sudden.
He was always put back together with the same
parts.
colors. They always matched. Like the color always matched. It was always a one color scheme. It was like even if it was multiple different parts from different things.
Except for the first one with Anakin Skywalker when he
Right.
wasn't even when he didn't even have a
He didn't
like
have
a body.
coverings.
Yeah, he didn't have. It was just wires and shit.
That's gonna make me go home when I go home tonight. I'm gonna freaking search that up.
I
That's
want
gonna
to find
no.
like an old VHS copy or
Dude, I
something.
watched this one video though.
Call my buddy Aaron Young. He's probably got an original from like
He had-
1986 or something.
Check this video out.
The box set.
Yeah, I
That
used to
one?
have
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
This guy had this book, The Berenstain Bears.
Berenstein.
Get this. He didn't do anything, but when he walked from one room to the other, the name fucking changed.
Was that video that surfaced?
Probably.
When he walked through the door threshold and he had it
Yep.
right on and it literally changed from Berenstein to Berenstain
Oh,
or
I haven't
whatever it
seen
was.
that. That's bizarre.
Yeah, because I guess what the story was is whatever happened and when it happened, that book was in the room. So when it comes out of the room, it turns into something.
Oh,
It's the name
spooky.
switches, and then when it goes back into the room, it switches back to the original name.
And an urban legend is born. Wow.
That's
That's
nuts.
just like C-3PO's leg.
I almost want to put a Mandela effect lyric in this, the third verse. How do I do that?
That's gonna be what I'm gonna.
Well, you
dive
got to
into
remember
tonight.
what you don't remember, because remembering what you don't remember is what the Maritimes do.
Let's see. How do I put that in?
That's gonna
How do you
write
remember?
I
what
don't
you-
know. That was pretty good.
How do you remember what you don't remember when you don't remember what you remember?
I'm trying to remember what you said.
I'm trying to remember what I said first too.
And what I wrote in the song to make sure it makes sense. Let's see.
You got to remember what you don't remember, because remembering what you don't remember is what remembering in the Maritimes does.
This turned out to be a good song. Okay.
Too bad I can't rewind the live video to find out what I said. I probably actually could.
Oh man,
Fuck, we have the technology.
it's there. But do we have the patience?
Do we have?
Well, I would have to go. I would have to take the live video off of TikTok.
Right.
So, but it's as easy as logging on to from one of our phones onto the podcast.
It's just me
On
being
the
lazy,
YouTube.
not trying to write the third verse, but I just gotta let it happen instead of fighting it. So let's see.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Let's see.
I started back at the gym there the last couple days.
Good man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. How's that treating you?
Well, I've started doing, instead of doing like power sets where I'm bringing it down and trying to lift heavier weights, I drop the weights. So I'm doing 4 sets of 12, trying to define some things,
Nice.
cut some things down that way. Figured I'd give her a shot because I haven't been doing that and I'm not happy with my progress. I figure if I switch it up to something like that where I'm doing a little bit more cutting, then maybe I'll get a little bit more of what I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah.
A little change definitely helps.
And I have noticed it. I've cut bread back out of my diet again.
Oh yes.
I haven't been doing too much pasta. Had a little bit of rice. Been
Cut down on the carbs, you say?
cutting down on the carbs. The only thing now that I got to do is get rid of the sugar in the coffee.
I think I should do that, honestly.
And then once I do that, I've also been eating more chicken, so I haven't been eating a lot of heavy red meat or anything like that.
Nice.
So I've been really trying to watch what I eat again. I can get back into just doing the lemon ginger tea instead of the coffee. That's my vice.
Nice.
And
Sounds
and,
good.
and I have to, not because I don't like the taste or I don't even like the coffee. It's just if I drink too much, if I feel my teeth wanting to rot out of my face, and I like chewing food.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue to chew food, but I'm going to have to give up coffee. And that's the spiritual implications of the things that I'm going to have to do for my greater health.
Makes sense.
Totally. So you're going to give up hot water. I'm going to have to try and give up coffee. And that's just what's going to have to happen.
That's where the stars align.
And I'm going to be doing I'm working my way into a 7-day fast too. So
There you go.
I'm going more and more. I almost went for another 24-hour fast today.
Yeah.
I did one when I was sick there the other week, so it was involuntary, and then I almost went for a 48-hour. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to eat something because I started working out and stuff again, so I need a little bit more energy.
Right.
But I'm still working my way in and out of doing like
I find fast and easy, but that's because I'm always in ketosis. I think that's the key. Because if you got to go painful, it's a pain in the ass to get in ketosis. Then if you just start cold turkey, it takes a couple days just to get into ketosis.
wait,
And then once you're in, it's not so bad. Or I'm already in it, so then I wake up in the morning and it's like, no big deal. I just get lots of liquid into me and I don't really notice. I don't have that uncomfortable.
what's the beauty about doing
Feeling.
intermittent fasting first? You kind of like once you naturally set into an intermittent fasting thing,
Yeah.
then you just naturally float into like a fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I find it's different. Ketosis is different though. I've done it for years, so I know how to do it now, and I know when I'm on it and stuff. It's pretty easy. I always test my piss still, but because when you're in it, then you're burning your fat. You don't get that like you don't have feeling of that you don't have any energy.
Right.
So, like you just.
What are the benefits of fasting, really?
Oh geez, tons, man. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing and biggest draw for me is if you can fast for 7 days, you'll flush every toxin out of your body.
Okay.
So that's like the key behind doing like a 7-day fast to start with. Then there's a whole bunch of spiritual implications. Like one of the things, especially if your third eye isn't open or you're having trouble connecting to what the extra dimensional world that you want to get into.
Right.
Instead of taking LSD, you can just fast.
Okay.
And then eventually all the chemicals will just start going through your brain. And then what he was talking about earlier with the Kundalini yoga, which is all about taking your sexual energy and driving it up in your spine, up into your pineal gland.
Interesting.
And all of that has to be done through fasting. And you can't really, like, because if you're eating a lot of meat, especially, it's what keeps you grounded to the earth.
Mhm.
And like, there's nothing, despite what everybody says, there's nothing wrong with eating meat. And some people actually have to, or else there is a disease that you can get from not eating it.
Mhm.
But that's not everybody.
I
But there-
haven't ate meat in so long.
You're probably one of those people.
Are you a vegetarian or vegan or just?
I honestly, I just haven't. I have a very poor diet, and let's just say, like, my eating habits have like been very poor ever since a child. Like, I guess my eating habits was mainly stemmed from like whatever I was being given to me. So mainly, it went from eating healthy to a lot of junk food, which is not really my fault at a younger age because I didn't have the power to provide.
Yep.
So obviously that
Facts.
it really made it hard for me nowadays because now I can't eat meat because I actually just can't handle it.
Oh, really?
And
And some people are like that. Like some, you've been
right.
long enough without it, right?
Exactly, and I've struggled to eat a lot of vegetables because it's the same thing with that. And so it makes me feel very embarrassed to even be able to go out in public and have to eat in front of people or be, being
So what do you
offered.
eat?
Not a lot, but I guess I eat like potatoes, rice, and
Yeah.
I do get protein.
A lot of root
nuts.
vegetables,
Yeah, and so
Yep.
nuts and things.
Oh, when I was, you're what, 25? You say?
yeah. And
Yeah.
do
When
get
I
a lot
was
of
your age, I
supplements.
lived on rice, potatoes, and ground beef.
Well,
That was about it. Yeah.
you got to be careful with the supplements because
I don't get a lot of it. I don't take a lot of them.
Well, you have to because you're not eating fucking.
Well, yeah,
you're
but
not-
I do limit my intake due to the fact that
Yeah.
I know that there's harmful effects.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't speak on your diet.
Yeah.
But I can
What
tell that you-
supplements are you talking about?
Oh, just mainly like multivitamins,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
stuff like that. I don't dive head over heels into like
Yeah.
30 or 40 fucking
Yeah,
pills.
yeah.
Be
I
careful
can't
with
handle
those.
those.
If you get them from the store, like Shoppers and things like that, most of those multivitamins are useless.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I try to go to Shoppers and like talk to a pharmacist usually and try to get them to like tell me what I would feel like would be better because I feel like I don't really know what would be best. And if I had someone that actually knows a little bit better on what's actually in them and can point me in the right direction, that's usually better. And I try to go with that option.
Where you're active as a drummer, I would suggest even going to like a not GNC, but Supplement King or someplace like that, because you're exercising, right?
Right.
As a drummer, especially.
A lot.
And that's what all of those supplements are for. So and those are all you can get good natural and healthy ones from there.
It's probably the better route, anyways. Honestly.
And whereas you're doing a lot of aerobic activity and your muscles are always constantly moving, you want all kinds of lube and stuff. You
Right.
basically have to treat your body like you're working out at the gym.
But
Right.
he's young and doesn't drink, so you can pretty much get away with fucking murder.
This is true.
You know,
But he did say he felt like he was 40 years old,
My back,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Which
that comes
is-
from touring and like
which also
hard
means
work.
that you have to check your diet because something is wrong because you're not eating the right thing.
eat salad.
exactly.
How do you do on salad?
I haven't ate it
What do you mean you haven't ate it
I've
ever?
never.
Oh,
salad before.
jeez.
Isn't that
Well,
something-
hey, in some cases, you got a great opportunity.
I know.
Instead of eating crap, you could just start. Do you have a garden,
In Woodstock, we do. Yes.
man? Get
Chris is
some-
all about the gardening.
I'm all about the gardening. I'm
He's
getting
gonna
right-
teach.
garlic
He's
up there.
gonna
Yeah, man.
teach me about gardening.
Nice.
grow some.
We grow garlic up there. as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, and you're laughing then. But if you grow some, if you can get some good greens like not just
Spinach.
like spinach and butternut, not look for a bunch of different like lettuces, a bunch of different ones, and then you get into some good fresh garden stuff. Wash it, chop it up, and if you throw in a little, like actually a good one is you go buy some cilantro and dill seeds. You like that stuff?
I haven't tried that either, so it's
It's
another
fucking
opportunity.
delicious. You get some dill. Everybody loves dill. Cilantro, you might not. Who knows? But that and parsley. If you don't like it, somebody you know will love it. You'll be able to bargain all kinds of shit
Oh
for
yeah.
it. You'll just fucking love it. And it's so easy. I plant like a square this big, and then you don't have to weed it. It just takes over, and you just chop some fresh stuff, some of that fresh lettuce, chop it in, maybe a tomato or whatever.
Wow,
A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper. You're in fucking heaven.
that sounds amazing.
It is amazing. And for me, greens are like the key to my health. I mostly eat meat, which is long story short. But yeah, man, a bit of greens.
I
goes
think
a
that's kind of where I would
long
rather
way.
go towards rather than trying to get into meat. Because there's no way in heck I'm gonna fucking eat meat ever again. And honestly, I'm fine with that because I can get proteins elsewhere. But the
Yeah.
greens would be the better place to start because I mean, there's so many out there, and there's so many things you can do with it as well.
And if you grow your own, then you just bypass all the cheap ass California
Exactly.
shit full of chemicals, and which is crap anyways. Doesn't taste
Exactly.
very good. But homegrown salad, oh man, and the season's here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have months of it. It's the best.
Yeah,
Oh, love it.
definitely.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
See me, I've made peace with the fact that I'm a carnivore. I just
There's nothing wrong with that either.
Oh no, but especially as long as you bless your meat and you ask it for forgiveness, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not about asking it is about asking the animal itself for forgiveness. It's
Right.
not about praying to some higher deity or anything
No.
like that. It's just about making sure because death is a painful process no
It
matter
is.
which way you split or which way you go through it. But we do have to realize that we live on a place where everything has to keep itself balanced.
Right.
And so just
And that's another reason why I don't eat meat actually is because I can actually never harm an animal. I've had guns. I've partaked in like when I was growing up, I shot squirrels, but it got to a point where I went to shoot a crow, and I don't know what it is about that, but I could not. I actually decided to break my gun over the stump of a log, but that's probably another reason why I fell into place with calling my like in my stage name it has Hellhawk. And every time I see ravens or hellhawks, I just kind of feel a connection towards that. But that was another point in my life that I was just like, it turned me away from ever wanting to try eating meat ever because if I won't kill it, I'm not going to eat it. Or if I won't eat it, I'm not going to kill it. It's the same way fishing. I don't eat fish.
Yeah.
So when I catch a fish, I always release it. And I don't care if the person next to me eats it. If they didn't catch it, it's not their fish.
exactly.
I will not. I just cannot bear the pain of harming another animal, knowing that I just have no way of returning that favor. to
Oh,
bless
I
that
chewed an
kind of-
animal and
that.
eat it.
But you do have the way of returning that favor.
I do, probably
Right.
in a way that I'm not sure of.
You don't need to because you don't worry about it.
Right.
Right? It's not something that you're going to worry about. It's something that I will worry about myself because it's what I have to do. But I will always make sure that I ask for forgiveness and thanks, and because I know that if the roles were reversed, I would expect the exact same thing to happen to me.
Exactly.
But that's just the way that I look at things. I know that if I was a deer running around and somebody was hungry or something was hungry, I would get eaten.
Exactly.
Right? And that's just
Circle of life.
it is the circle of life. And it's just the body that I live in just decided that it's in one of those bodies that needs that. You know what I mean? So I'm part of this earth. I will give back to this earth when I basically want to be buried naked. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I don't want to be put into a box. I didn't do that for my dogs. Why would I do that for myself?
Right.
And I don't really even care who walks on me because I'm supposed to be food for the planet. So why would I rob the planet of the good food that it wants? You know
To
what I
give
mean?
back to the environment, realistically, because that box is basically preventing you from being composted back into the environment. You're just basically are rotting in the ground, in a box.
Yeah.
And that nutrient is being wasted.
Exactly.
You know, that's what when an animal dies in the forest, that's being put back into its surroundings, feeding all the works of life, the trees, the animals even that come and feast on it. That's like it's giving back to the life that are stemming from the roots around it, and the sheer fact that we waste space, valuable space, in the ground that
Cordoning off these things when we could be used as complete nutrients back. Like we create like
the
What
joy
we're-
of composting and freaking mushrooms and how those organisms the way they eat.
once our soul leaves this body, there's no reason for this body to exist other than for food for the planet.
Right.
Because that's what this body is designed to do. It's
But
designed
maybe
to decay back
maybe
in.
the energy of families getting together and having a place to grieve and remembered loved ones in sacred space more than makes up for the idea of a bit of fertilizer
Maybe.
that I can make anytime. I can compost and make topsoil and go get some horse shit and cow shit and sheep shit and chicken shit and make the best soil you ever needed. I don't need a human body to wait 70 years to make it for me.
I'm not saying you use
But
a
on
human
the
body for
spiritual
that.
side, sometimes I definitely look at like things like cemeteries a little different.
I'm
You know,
just
they
not-
say there's like this wasteful way about it. It's like, oh, now I'm not so sure. I wonder if maybe that energy and that closure in the way of remembering people and
See, I don't
culture
look at it that way.
might
I look
be a
at
lot better.
see, I look
Right.
at it as a way that's like a spiritual trap.
Maybe, or
Because-
maybe it's a spiritual battery.
That's pretty cool of a name right there. Spiritual battery.
You are a spiritual battery.
We're all spiritual batteries. But yeah, you
I
know what
see
I mean?
where you're coming from.
Yeah, because
I
that
really
idea
do.
that like, oh, we're just gone and it's all gone. It's like, well, yeah, that's true. And you know, it does go into the earth, and we do that sort of thing. And cemeteries, none of them. I mean, the odd one lasts forever, but most of them get used and eventually
I'm
get
also-
developed, turned into
Right.
something. I kind of like cremation though too. To me, it's like, you know, you have the urn, the family can take it, or you can have the little memorial, and I don't know. I
I
almost wish we would make, instead of just regular old cemeteries,
I'm just not
imagine we made
sentimental.
like Stonehenges.
Well, yeah.
If we had huge, beautiful communal mausoleums where you could go and remember, and that's the whole point, because that's where the ashes go or whatever. And you have like a ceremony, a place to put it, and then you wouldn't need to have, you know, this forever unlimiting and expensive. The idea that it's so expensive on the family when someone dies, like, man, that's crazy. I don't. When I
crazy.
die, I sure as hell don't want it to cost my family 10 to 20 grand. That's
Exactly.
nuts, man. Shouldn't fucking cost them anything. In fact, they should get a bit of a refund or something on all the taxes I paid. You know, like
Right.
spread it out a bit. Like send them out to the pub for a night or something.
But then we
Yeah.
wouldn't.
You know,
live-
that's it. Shouldn't be death tax. It should be like, well, you lost a loved one. Here's your $100. You know, go buy flowers or a case of beer or go to McDonald's. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. But,
but then you
that's
wouldn't
how it
have
should
more
work.
debt.
Right.
We
What's
live in
that?
a debt-based society where you're born into debt, where you're basically born into slavery.
Well,
as
we're
a
gonna
debt
sort.
slave.
We're gonna sort all that out, aren't we?
Well, I hope so.
We're human robots.
Yeah. No.
Fleshbots.
That's what they want us to be, but they won't. And I'm not. I'm not down
That's what
for
the
it.
transhumans are
I'm
trying
not
to
a
get us
human.
into.
I'm not a human flesh bot. I'm a spiritual motherfucking battery.
Yeah.
There you go, spiritual battery.
That's always recharging itself from the
Spiritual
battery. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of which, you want to hear a maritime song?
I kind of do now. Let's change the subject.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I can play harmonica to it or not, though.
Well, you could try. I was going to say it was a good idea. I knew it was going to be a good idea when I didn't stop you from doing it.
I had the feeling it'd be good. I asked Bob. I said, "Yeah, man, would it be okay if I grabbed like 6 or 7 pieces of wood or something?" He said, "Yeah, man, no problem." And I knew he wouldn't mind. It was awesome. It would be great. I just thought, yeah, it's a bit damp. Just take the damp off. Then the damp becomes
To take the dank out.
beautiful, warm moisture. That's the only thing I don't like about winter. It's so dry. My skin just dries up. I wonder if that's like the Newfie Norwegian Viking in me that like it's never frozen. It's always damp. And even if it's uncomfortable, it's good on the skin. But when it's like I'm inland frozen and there's just no moisture in the air, I just dry up. I'm dry all the time.
It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
There's always
I
going to be like
wonder.
a happy medium between like a hot and like the humidity and like the cool dampness. Like there's
Yeah.
always a nice draw between. It's like now my body feels loose but not uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. Let's try this.
Look at all the
Maybe I get
tools
rid
that-
of those tables.
I think we should. I never capo.
I'm
so
gonna zone
capo.
out while I'm high here and see if I can rearrange things while you're playing this maritime tune.
So I'm gonna
Nice.
capo at second fret, play in C, which puts me in D. I really don't know how to play major harp, like major key harp. So I should
you don't know how to play major key harp?
force myself to learn. Well, I mean, I don't.
Learn on
I
the
mostly play cross harp, right? So I can do like the blues sort of style. But
fly. Okay.
this would be like Piano Man. I was hearing some Billy Joel the other day. Not bad for faking it, eh? Heading down to hang by the bay, but I live by the river, so it's in garage today. Work on my saw on that old half-ton truck. Hope I find work 'cause I'm down on my luck. Well, whoa, whoa, whoa. Once again, my luck is run low. Coffee's gone cold as the fog in the air, but the cold wakes me up, so I haven't a care. I can still sing a song and pick out a tune. You buy me a drink, then I'll play one for you. Well, whoa, whoa, my guitar goes wherever I go. The bars are all back and they'll finally let me play. They'll book all the bands, only took a couple of 100 days. I sure need a gig and I damn well need the pay. And me and the boys, well, we're ready, I'd say. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My guitar goes wherever I go. There it is, there she be. Another day in the life for me. There it is, there she be. A song that sounds maritime-y.
That was fucking beautiful.
That
Thanks,
was,
man.
man.
That was good. The maritime part was going to be the chorus, but I guess that ended up being the tag.
That was fucking glorious.
That was awesome, actually. That
Thanks.
really come together nicely.
it was our conversation from earlier too, which was even better. It
Yeah.
followed the
Yeah, man.
it followed the conversation as we went.
That's the thing, man. I gotta kind of embrace, like, I'm trying to kind of like embrace myself. You know what I mean? And go, okay. it's not
Who
like-
am I?
Not, yeah, and sort of like instead of asking who am I, who am I, who am I, it's just like I'm just being who I am, right? You know what I mean? I finally
Yeah,
I've spent so
absolutely.
many years of who am I. It's just like, well, now I've trying to just be, not trying, I'm just being who I am.
Which is exactly the whole point to the spiritual journey, which
Yeah.
is what the funny thing that people don't get. Like you see a lot of these people that think they're uber spiritual, but really they're just lost out in space trying to get away from here.
Yeah.
Instead of just being who you are meant to be.
Yep.
And just being you.
Feed yourself.
Because you got to remember at the end of the day, you still have to be here.
That's
You
right.
still have to participate in this dimension, whatever reality we're in. I have to participate with all of you guys here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what's this point in getting lost in the clouds all the time, going, "Ooh, look at how spiritual I am because I'm not here in this dimension." But really, you still have to come back here. And that's beautiful for you to say it like that and find that point right through. Yes. Mike
All right.
fucking drop for Chris.
All right. Yeah, they got a good song out of it.
That was awesome.
I think that one will work, eh?
Absolutely. You should record that.
I'm gonna have to. Well, I just got a gig. I'm gonna be playing every Thursday at a car dealership, believe it or not, where I used to work.
That's
It's called the
pretty
Kona
cool.
Cafe. 'Cause at the coffee shop, they have like their coffee station, and they weren't allowed to give coffee to anyone for 2 years, right? And that was always my favorite thing when I worked there was giving people free coffee and make them a nice cup. We'd sit out and talk about cars. And and I drove a Kona, and they have like the pictures of the cars everywhere. And at the coffee station, they call it the Kona Cafe. It is a nice poster of a Kona. So we're calling it the Kona Cafe. We're getting sponsored by SiriusXM, and so I'll be playing, and you can go sit down and watch it and have a coffee and watch it play and stuff. And we're going to be
Cool.
collecting food bank donations. So hopefully people will bring them in anytime. But I'm also going to encourage, hopefully, the odd folk will come down and see me play an instrumental or sing a song, kind of
Right.
quiet. People will be buying cars and stuff at the same time. And I used to do a lot of commercials where I'd sing about like cars. And I wrote this one song about a sale we had. And then I did one like on a 12-string sitting in front of the store like I'm busking. And then I took an old beat up classical and did it like Roger Miller style in the parts department. And then did one, I think it was in the back of a car. And, just fooling around. It was all a different style every time.
That's cool.
So I'm going to do a bunch of like commercials for the guys for free as well. So, as free as part of the deal.
Fuck yeah, man.
I think it'll be
That's
fun.
sick.
So if you ever get bored, come down to Fredericton Hyundai on Thursdays, 3 to 6. And I'm going to get in the habit of writing more songs and like forcing myself like, okay, hey, you
Right.
got to practice every night. You got to write more songs. You got to break up the harmonica. You got to just get on it, right?
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I
man.
think it'll be
Hit the
fun.
ground running.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad record like TV shows on their, they're retired and stuff, and so they'll, I don't know how they do it, but like your cable can record shows now. and
Yeah.
stuff. And they're always recording music ones for me, and I'm never really interested. But the other day they recorded a big Tommy Emmanuel special. You
Yes,
familiar with him?
sir. I think I've heard.
He's the master
I think I've come
acoustic
across
guitar
that.
player. Yeah, and he can do like here's one of his specials is I don't play it as fast as him. The guitar boogie. But he does all this. He does it with a thumb pick, but he'll do all the old,
Okay, there you go.
I'm used to doing finger picks. I can't do it with my fingers anymore. But he does all that kind of stuff. But he's also famous for this one, the guitar boogie, which is anyways, I gotta fucking totally. I used to be able to do that no problem. So I gotta get back into this.
Well, it didn't look like you had too many problems there.
Oh, there was a bunch of shitty notes there, trust me. But he like gets into the whole solo. I'm loose. I gotta warm up and get into that.
I
stuff
do.
again.
I do feel what you're saying, though. I'm just trying to give you more smoke
Oh,
than you
thanks,
wanted.
buddy. Thanks, buddy.
But you just didn't want to accept anything. You just were like, no,
Yeah. No, fuck it up. No, come on.
no, fuck. I could have sounded better. I could have done it better. Did you hear that fucking scream
then
right
after-
there?
Right, fucking hit on the fret the wrong way.
And
it
then
was
you watch,
buzzing.
because when you watch Tommy, it's like, yeah, you remember that bad note he did? No.
What are you talking about?
Oh, is that right? Yeah, it's cool stuff. The old flat picking, man. I love it. Gotta get my chops back, man. As I didn't give up playing music, but it's different when you do it every day and you teach it and it's like your job. And
You
that's
took a
all you
break.
did.
Right.
Yeah. So now I gotta get back in. But that's the other universal sign. It's just like, you weren't supposed to do that. It's time to get back, young fella. You're 45. Add 4 plus 5, that's 9. That's the 369. It's time to get back.
You took way too much.
Dropping numerology bombs.
And now your body is paying for it.
Yep, exactly. So now I gotta do it. So now I'm straight sober. Gotta get back at it. Write songs, but I do have to get my lead chops back. For sure.
Right.
So back to you, brother. When in your or even in your own solo project, what's your approach to writing songs?
That
Good
is-
question. Take your time, but don't take too much time because we don't want dead air.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, honestly, the thing is about my writing process is that I basically throw it together because I'm not a guitarist, nor am I a vocalist or a bassist or keyboardist because that's basically all the instruments that I'm trying to add to write my material. Because it's mainly like an atmospheric black metal project that kind of incorporates all my biggest influences, such as Mayhem and Emperor. A lot of the main stuff that I kind of listen to on a daily basis. So I try to kind of scrape together a lot of the sounds that I hear from all of those favorite bands and make it into one sort of sound.
Which sounds pretty ambitious because I mean that's quite
It is. I'm
I'm
stretching out
familiar
on
with
a
some of
limb.
those bands and like Emperor and that. And it's it's no joke, man. It's pretty cool stuff, right? Layered and interesting pieces. Yeah.
I'm definitely stretching out on a limb, trying to accomplish such a feat by myself. It's really something that I didn't know or think I would be capable of. Even now, I'm still kind of like treading into some deeper waters that I don't think I might be capable of yet. But slowly but surely, I'll have something that I could actually play live with, because that's really my goal. It'd be nice to have something recorded, which I do have 2 to 3 tracks recorded, but they're very rough and they're very raw. But I do have drums added to it and guitar and bass. And I have a couple that are on YouTube, but unfortunately, I have to find them on my YouTube because they're not visible to the public. So my vocalist at this time, actually the one that did the vocals on these 2 tracks, he actually put them on YouTube for me just so I'll be able to view them with his tracks. And so when I would view them, actually they sound quite amazing with full-on vocals to them. And I'm just like, well, now, do I want to add vocals to these tracks and make it more full, or do I want to keep it instrumental?
Did you play the guitar and everything as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Honestly, you could do both.
I could. The first time I did vocals and drums at the same time was during my Def Leppard stuff when I was doing with Monteith because we had 5-part harmonies. So I am already kind of used to it, but when you think about trying to play blasting and doing a lot of more focused and intricate playing, I don't think I would be able to draw my focus enough to kind of keep that rasp in my voice, or kind of divide my attention towards the 2.
I understand your struggle because even playing guitar and trying to like, it's one thing to sit there and try and craft your voice when you're not doing anything else but doing your
Exactly.
voice. But then it doesn't matter what instrument it is. Like in my band, Fallen Pawns, I have to play simpler parts.
Right.
I feel like less of a musician when I do it, but you have to play simpler parts in order to compensate for getting your voice the way it wants to be.
Right.
You know what you could try? It's a suggestion, just an idea. Do it instrumental when you perform because it's backing tracks and you're the drummer and you get to have that whole experience of like, seeing the drummer and people will really like that. And then do the version with vocals, but only perform that with a band. full band, do it like a normal band.
That'd be interesting.
So it'd be like the Foo Fighters type thing. You write, record all the music, get your buddy to sing, and then just hire some players and just be like, okay, this is the thing. That would be cool. And then you'd have two separate, total fun ways to enjoy the music. And some people would probably like one better than others, but whatever. And I always like that. Let the audience choose.
So that's the kind of one thing. It's cool that you bring that up because that was kind of the other route that I was sort of taking, where I actually am hoping to become a little bit more adventurous as a black metal vocalist. So, with to kind of correspond with what you just said, I definitely would like to be able to play more live shows doing just drum stuff, but to kind of go along with just working on my vocals and stuff, I think it would be really interesting to do exactly what you said, but even if it was with a full band, because the stuff that I write is that's the kind of hard to find a drummer that would be capable. Because and that's not to toot my own horn, I think, because I know there's plenty of drummers out there that are very
I have
capable.
the same problem with guitar. It's like I'm not an amazing guitar player by any means, but I play a unique style. And because I play a lot of styles, it's really hard to sit down and play. And the odd player who probably could do it would be too expensive, or they're just not interested or busy.
Exactly.
So
Once
it's
you've
like
tapped
tricky
into
that
who
way.
you are, nobody can actually replicate you.
And that's, yeah, exactly. And that's what kind of makes everybody
And that's
unique.
not tooting your own horn, so you keep fucking tooting. boy.
But so basically, it kind of makes the style a little bit more unique. So when you hear it, it crosses the basic. Like if this table was like a playing field and like atmospheric stuff, nature sounding stuff that makes you sound like you're walking through the field or the forest, and all you hear is just the nature, just the live sounds around you, and that just it connects with you in a way where when it's your soul, it opens up. You don't just hear just blasting. You don't hear people screaming in your face. I have that style of music, and I have wrote that already. But I also write stuff that makes you feel like you can go out and meditate and just be one with yourself. You know what I mean? So the way I do write to kind of come back to the original question, my writing style does bounce around all of the places, so it makes it very challenging for me to stay on path with one straight on thing to actually get somewhere. But that also kind of makes my project a little bit more unique because I don't just stick to one sound. I kind of go between, like, I might have an extreme set, I might have a more gentle sounding set where it's like I might not even play drums for the whole set. I could probably play half, and I might pick up a guitar for a song and then do vocals for the rest of it. You know what I mean? And I play keyboard as well. So there's so many different things that I could do live as a one-man band project, but I think that's kind of the realm that I'm thinking of treading into more as a side of being into a full band because I've been with the same band for over nearly a decade now.
I'm interested in putting you on stage.
As a single project, like a one-man band project,
Yes.
it would be interesting because
I've already envisioned it in my brain. Keep talking.
well, the thing is, like, I want to make it more of like a theatrical thing because it's not just going to be the music. I want it to be a performance, like how Dio was.
Yes.
So
See,
like
that's why you need your voice. So then way you can go up and do all the theatrical stuff and switch instrument to instrument. But if you have this core backing band, that'd be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but who am I to say? I mean, who knows? Maybe
Eventually in the future.
playing the different parts on the different backup tracks and stuff could be.
because I could
just
record
very
the drums
unique,
as a
right?
backing track, and then if I were to
Yeah.
doing the vocal parts, for certain songs, like let's just say I would still have my kit set up, and if I was only doing vocals and drums, I could divide it between like I could start the show behind the kit, and then choose certain songs where I could get to a point in the set and have a sample pad. So when
Yeah.
that song ends, I can hit that sample and it ends and it stops at the end of it. So once I hit it, I can get up from behind the kit, grab my microphone, and proceed to the front of the stage where I could, perform the act while doing vocals. And then when that time is up, then I can find myself back behind the kit to continue the rest of the set.
I know myself, I would have. I mean, this is just speaking for me. You
Oops.
know what I mean? Because that could be really
There's so many options.
It would be interesting, but I know for myself, I would inevitably end up just going, "This is too complicated. I'm just going to get the
Right.
band." Just because I also love once you become a front man, like I back people up. I'm going to be backing up my buddy on
Right.
the 29th, I'm just a lead guy. I don't sing lead or anything. I'll be playing lead guitar for him. That's it. It's just a 2-man show. But yeah, once you get a taste of being the front man, it's kind of, especially I love it. I can't go back. And I've had some cool stuff. One of the funnest experiences I ever had was I wrote this project. It was an improv based project called The River.
Right.
And I kind of basically I got younger as the night started.
Okay.
And the music got more modern.
Nice.
And I would change costumes, sort of thing. But I hired these guys. They'd never met. Some of them knew each other, but they'd never met. And they went, here's the songs, here's the keys, here's how they go, here's how I want you to roughly do it.
Right.
But it's like an improv type show. And then I met all the guys individually. So they'd never met, never played together. And then we
Right.
played the show. And it just allowed me to be, I played the different parts, but I was the front man. I could just create the atmosphere. And it was awesome. It was one of the best experiences. And there's just something about that because then you can just focus. All my focus was, I always want to do that again. I will someday. The next one, I want to do The River again, and then I want to do one called The Crossroads. So the whole theme is Crossroads. It goes through blues into hard rock.
That would be awesome.
Kind of stuff. And then I'll come up with different ones. Maybe one will be called The Ocean. I don't know. Where I'll do like Caribbean music and reggae. Actually, that's pretty badass. I think I am going to do that. And I just pretty much have decided that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah. But yeah, that idea of having the band kind of as your support team and live.
Giving you that little sense of control.
Yeah.
over it
And
as
then
well.
you can just do you. And that way, as the audience, you're watching this person perform, doing the stuff, and you can do like dramatic stuff with costume and
Yeah.
or trigger. See, what I think would be really interesting for what you just as an idea for what you're doing is, and I always love this idea of you could control the lights and stuff from stage and really change that. So like it's the nature song, it all goes green.
You want to know the idea I had?
What was
Considering you
that?
just said that. Well, I've had this idea for a long time, and considering back when had the original idea, I didn't know what triggers was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my grand scheme idea was I want to have a light show, like an actual light show, kind of organized, like design where I could hook up my drum triggers to the light system itself. So anytime I would hit it, it would either sequence a flash of certain types of lights together.
Yep.
So anytime if I were doing double bass for a certain time of a song, I would have it programmed for that section only. But doing double bass and having it like doing different flashes of lights, like
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
all over the
wicked.
place. So when you're doing a drum solo and I were to have it just on my kicks,
Yep.
it would kind of, and you just keep a consistency. So the light patterns, and you would want to design it so the light patterns will correspond with your consistency and your double kick. So if you're just going, you want the light show to kind of add justice to go with that, right? Because you don't want it to just be flashing all over the place.
Yeah, I could maybe control. You could have it do a slow fade all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want it to create like a sequence.
Yeah.
So I guess more or less the moral of the story is like I had my Moonlight, which is basically the same as that, which just sits above my kit, always on. The other situation that I want to put, the only thing I want to put up there again that's not another light or a camera would be a red light, but that one
Yeah.
would be flashing.
Okay, that'd be different.
So when you think the only reason why I want it to be flashing is because I think of when you're in a submarine and you have your red flashing lights when danger is happening or
Oh
you get hit with
yeah,
something,
cool.
the siren, that red flashing light, having that above there
Yeah.
when you're
be
into a
interesting.
real brutal part or when the breakdown hits and everything goes silent and it's just the riff, like the chugging. Imagine just having the siren go off and then you have just the red twirling lights in the drum cage.
Cool.
My drum kit alone will also be kind of very theatrically built as well, so it will play a very big part in my my music.
I know you're black
Cool.
metal, but that's very Joey Jorgensen of you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Lights are just so cool, man. There's so much fun you can do.
Right?
Remember, I used to do a lot of sound for a lot of metal and punk shows and stuff, and just guerrilla local stuff, right? And there was a band from New York came in. I forget what they were called. Guy used to not Joey Oldham. He used to sing for the Misfits for a short time. Either way, we were playing this little pub, and they all showed up, and we just threw this background stuff. And this is where I got the idea. They set up all their stacks and all the gear, and then the drummer had all this like ripped white lace, and he just like they draped it all over the drum so it looked like cobwebs. And anything where there was like a piece of hardware sticking up, he put like a skull or all this shit on it. And then they draped all these flags over the amps. And then the guy went through and they had like a little karaoke light system. He's like, "Hey man, what have you got there?" Like, "Well, I got a green." And we adjusted up so we could do like a green scene, a blue, a red. There was like 3 colors or whatever. And then this one cheesy light you turn on, it was like little stars or whatever, right? So you think, what could you
They
do
went
with
to
that?
freaking what? They
So
went
he
to Hot
went-
Topic.
Okay, yeah, I know, eh? So he went, "Here's the set list. We're gonna go this color for this one, this one, this one," and we had it all done. And he goes, and this one song was called like "Shining Star" or something. He goes, "I want you to put that star effect on. It's gonna be fucking awesome." And it was like O'Malley's. It would be before your day. It was like there's yoga studios in King's
Right.
Place, but it was an old sports bar. And we used to play metal shows there back in the day, and
That's
all kinds of
sick.
stuff. I played a million shows there, and jam nights and everything, right? Anyways, we did this, shut the lights off, and then put mood lighting on, and then I had all that, and to toot my own horn, I used to do pretty good sound because it was like just as a musician, it's like, well,
Right.
what would I want? It doesn't have to be too loud. Doesn't sound good, and it went in. The show was packed because there was a band from New York back then. It was like, whoa. And they were fucking awesome. They played amazing. And they looked the part. They had the costumes. They changed the stage, just became this brand new stage. You'd never know it was the same pub. Everybody was just blown away. And then that bit of the lights just gave it that pro touch. And it just, everybody felt like we're not in Fredericton. We're in this dingy old New York pub.
Oh, nice.
It was-
right in the
it
back
was
alley
perfect.
somewhere.
The guys had a great time because everybody was just like in the zone. And of course, they've got this audience who were just totally worshiping them and into it. And the vibe was just perfect. And I always never forgot that. I was like, yeah, man, lights doesn't take much.
All about the lights.
Yep.
A good sound.
I'd love to do that again. That's almost
Lights
like
and sound.
more
yes.
than a big PA. I don't need much PA when I play, but I think like
That's another thing that's good about being a single musician, artist, or whatever, is that you're not really competing with the other
Yeah.
musicians in the
It's
room.
true.
Like, even being a drummer, like having my own mixer set up right here and all my drum mics put into it, even if I wanted to play samples off of that and just have one cable going from my mixer right up to the front mixer,
Yep.
I can set
There
all
you
my
go,
levels.
dude. This is what I want.
Yeah, you turn your volume up to wherever the hell you feel is comfortable, and I will do my thing from back here, so you can just fuck off. Because a lot of the time, every show that I've played on tour, nobody knows how to set sound except when I was actually at the Rock Pile on tour. Just awesome.
Where's the rock pile?
That's in Toronto.
That's because you've
okay.
never let me do your sound.
I have, but it was not because of that. It was also because it was outdoors and it was a very shitty.
It also wasn't me.
Exactly, and I don't think it was
It was-
your gear,
No, it was all my gear.
was it?
Well, it was all gear that I rented.
Okay. Then because I think I was supposed to play that with Forest Soul, East Coast Awakening.
Yeah.
And Monteith ended up playing with that, and that was the only time I had problems with my trigger, and
Yeah.
it was because I did not have a drum module. I don't think at that time.
Probably. And it was night one.
exactly. So already
Well,
I
no,
was
wait.
just-
If you were with, if you're
I was playing with Monteith, though. I think it was night 2, because you guys were there when we showed up.
Monteith did night one. I remember that because it was like in the middle of the fucking night.
Oh yeah. We played pretty
No,
late.
it was at the end of the night. Yeah, I remember. It was after the main band from Brazil had played.
Nervosa.
You guys and Panda B went on,
Panda Beat.
and yeah, I fought with Sarah while she was on the stage.
Really?
Well, she tried yelling at and tried blaming me and shit like that. And she goes, "All you're gonna tell me to do is to sing properly." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got you fucking cranked.
Yeah.
So fucking sing properly. Don't yip at me." Like, it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. You're lucky I'm still standing here.
Yeah, exactly. Just be thankful. Yeah.
But it was great. Everybody sounded decent enough for the first night there. I can't complain about doing my first fucking festival, so whatever.
No, it was a great fun. Honestly, I had a lot of fun that time.
It got better as the weekend went going, though.
Yeah.
But there was a lot that whole festival. That was the greatest time ever, but it was
Was it the best time and the worst of times?
it
Yeah.
was a fucking shit show.
It's legend. I heard about it. I was like miles away. I was hearing
But
about
it was
I played some other festival that weekend or something.
it was still great.
I'm so glad.
We pulled it off. I can't believe we pulled it off. That was the thing.
Yeah, it was a big event, and a lot of people turned up.
So
there.
yeah, it was a huge crowd and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like massive, but like everybody was spread out everywhere throughout the bush, so you couldn't really tell how much people was there.
Oh wow.
It was the thing was though is there wasn't like a lot of fans
Yeah,
because it was
Okay.
it was just
Mostly
basically
bands.
yeah it was basically like a big camping trip for bands.
yeah.
Wow. So just a shit ton of people. Yeah.
Well, there was
Yeah.
no way to get enough people out that far with the way that he was working it, the way that he
Yeah.
did it. Like, if he would have held that closer to Fredericton and made it not so much like a camping trip and more like where we had a space where we rented for a couple days and then we came in for a certain amount of time in those days and did the shows.
Well, where was it?
It was in the middle of the fucking woods where they do all the raves and rave fucking
Okay.
festivals. Works.
Oh, in Zealand. Okay.
Like
yeah,
it was a great fucking place and it was a great time if you could get enough customers out there to actually do it.
Yeah.
Needed a nature metal band. Say,
We didn't contact the Fae. No, we
was it
didn't.
invented back then?
I had my that little square purple sticker that's over there. I could see it from here. That
Oh, yeah.
has my. I could pretty much tell you, guarantee
I'm
that's
going
my
in for a
Force
close
Soul
look.
logo right beside the that purple sticker. It says Forest Soul on it, doesn't it? Yeah, that's my death metal project from 2015.
There you go.
Well, Blackened Death Metal Project. So yeah,
And I can attest you can't see on there, but you can barely read it even from up close. So that's real. That's a sign of a proper death metal logo.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And how fitting is it that we've always had that sticker up there and you're sitting here right now?
And
Oh,
I've been
wow,
sitting
cool.
here looking at that, like for every time I pan over here, I've been looking at it. I was like, is that really a sticker? But I could tell that it is because of the shade of purple, because I drew that by hand, that logo.
Oh wow, cool.
All of our logos
Nice.
I've ever done for all my projects, I did all
Yeah.
by hand.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh, cool. Small
And you
world.
have
eh?
been here in the studio since we've gotten that sticker.
Yeah. That's freaking cool. Seeing that. Because you know what's funny is that we had very, very little of those made.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I have the very last one.
yeah. Has it been stuck yet?
No.
No, it's still mint. Okay. Yeah.
Because the coolest thing was I had a mic stand, and back at that time I took some clear tape and I just took it. I put the sticker like here, and I didn't stick it. I just took a piece of clear tape, wrapped it around, had a flat edge, and I just stuck it in between the two layers of empty tape, just so it marks it, saying that it's ours. And when I got rid of the stand, I just tore the tape off with the sticker and then kept the sticker. But
That's cool.
Yeah,
So
but
now you
we-
still got it. The last sticker. Awesome.
there was only 10 of those made, and I think there was only 15 CDs demos made. And we actually had demo CDs printed, and I print every single one of them myself in my crappy little laptop in my apartment.
Awesome.
I am not even joking.
That's how you know you're from the Maritimes.
It was freaking awesome. The feeling I actually got when I was like, I went to the dollar store and I found blank CDs and cases, and I was just like, fuck it.
Oh,
I'll do
remember
that.
when that was a thing?
And yeah. And
It's not so much a thing anymore.
I'm gonna still do it probably for my Luciferian thing because I know I can, and it's just a cheap and convenient way that I know that it's. You go to the dollar store, buy fucking 250 blank CDs or Walmart for like $20.
Yeah.
And cases, and then I just burn all my rough tracks, and there you go.
Dude, I don't even have a CD player in my car.
I finally, when I got my
My
new
car-
used truck, it had a CD player. I didn't even notice until I was like about to leave, and I was like off the lot. I'm like, holy fuck, there's a fucking CD. So I went right to Digital World, bought 3 CDs.
Yeah.
I got Eric Clapton from the Cradle. I love that CD.
And there's
Nice.
a plug for Digital World here in
And then I
Fredericton.
couldn't find anything else I liked, so I found like Lost Lonely Boys or whatever their name
What are you
is.
into?
Blues, jazz, gypsy jazz.
Nice.
I like Iron Maiden. They're kind of the only metal band I would listen to. Not that I haven't listened to other
You
stuff.
like Nazareth and April Wine and stuff?
Yeah, kind of. Not
Yeah.
bad. I wouldn't like. I do like. I love all
Styx?
that. I love all that shit. But I wouldn't necessarily put it on.
Right. You would go your
Although
way.
every time it does, I'm like, yeah, that shit's awesome. Yeah.
You
but
vibe with
but
it.
I listen to
Good.
like, yeah, I don't know. Over the years, I was big in Delta blues, Chicago blues,
Right.
and all that. But I like swing and gypsy jazz. Django Reinhardt's kind of like what I listen to. Yeah, but yeah, I always loved that album. Plus, I don't know if you ever heard that album, From the Cradle. It's a crazy. Eric Clapton sold all his guitars, right, to
Yeah.
start that big thing. But part of it was he did this album, and it was kind of all his favorite classic blues. So it'd be like Elmore James and this guy and all these old school guys. But for the album, he'd find out as he covered their song, he's like, oh, well, Elmore James, what guitar and amp did he have for this song? Well, he got it because he's rich. So he bought it. He would go get that guitar, that amp, and played it. And so there's like 12 or 14 or 16 tracks on the CD. Every one had like the rig. Oh, Albert King? Well, he had that guitar, that amp. So when he went on tour, he had a tractor trailer full of just guitars and amps, all this old vintage shit.
Oh, shit.
So when you hear the album, it's fucking serious because there's that extra layer to it. Of course, he's such a good player for that style. He's the man, right? So he could just go in and out. So it's pretty badass. I used to listen to the shit out of it. And yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, well, it's meant to be, right? Popped it right in, started the truck up. You know, it was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
That'd be the way to go, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
pretty
kind of
cool.
felt that when you did that.
Well, that's,
And it reminded me when I just started, when I watched, what was it? When after I watched Ted Nugent on fucking Joe Rogan, then I started listening to some news, and that's how I felt when I
yeah.
started listening. It was just like, I was like, whoa.
See if I brought a slide. I don't think I did.
I actually just found my slide, and then I gave it to Boo Boo because he was going to do some church shit with a slide. I had to lend him my slide.
Funny because I found my favorite brass one somewhere. I didn't bring it because I was
I
like,
do have
oh,
a
it's okay.
brass-
I got my silver one here.
Did you
Yeah.
find it?
No, so I'm going to use a harmonica.
That's the battery. So what tuning are you using there, Chris?
That's basically open G, poor man's version. You take your. I gotta figure this out.
I kind of wish I didn't give the slide away now.
You basically take your A string and drop it down to G. It's sort of like drop D, but on the A string. So now I got this, a nice power chord, and then I can do like. But without having to, do those nasty stretches.
Oh, yeah. Draw that shit out, Chris. Oh, I need more sage.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Good podcast tonight. Chat up in the house. Metal Dad over there lighting shit on fire. Ain't no doubt. I'm going on home. drive my old truck. Driving down the road, my winter tires are hard luck. I said, woo-hoo, gonna dust my broom. Gonna press my luck, baby. Nothing better to do.
That was tasty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Instead of drinking, we're saging.
Yeah.
Saging Cajun.
Yeah, I say hello.
Oh, all by myself. Oh, I sage alone. Yeah, with nobody else.
That would be a good remake of that song.
You know when I sage alone.
I prefer to be by myself.
Oh yeah, you could do all these like new age.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Let's do a proper opportunity. She's getting that time, ain't it?
Getting to be that time? I don't want it to be that time.
I don't know what time it
Well, it's that time for Flynn, apparently. He's unplugging his bass. He got tired of sitting over there by himself because he doesn't want to be on camera yet.
He doesn't like to be on camera yet.
I hate.
I don't want to be on the camera today.
Well, you know,
I feel like I'm
sages
just there
alone.
to be on camera sometimes. I guess that's kind of just a given.
Well, it's been awesome having you here, man. Are you
Thank
back
you.
to Woodstock after this?
No, I'm actually just gonna head back to
You're right in town.
right in town. Yeah.
Well, that ain't so bad.
No, it's a nice steady place to go where I'm close to everything I need.
Except for a little bit of weed.
You got me there.
I only said it really because it rhymed.
Well, hey, we got a maritime song out. Got some good stories. Festival
Absolutely.
stories.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun time. Definitely. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me and
Hey,
getting to share some cool stories and fun times with you guys.
Well, you were very welcome. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. This is our Friday night. We just kind of hang out. And it's basically like we just sit here and talk, and then we just let people hang out on the TV if they want to watch.
Basically, yeah. Which, yeah, thank you for hanging out with us as well, everyone.
We try and make it seem like we're formal
Right.
and like we have an agenda. But
Sometimes it's hard. Yeah.
really, we're just hanging out in a garage with some instruments and a bunch of knowledge, and maybe not even knowledge. We're just talking shit, you know, like normal people do.
Throwing shit out there, waiting for something to bite.
Exactly. Nothing major, nothing elaborate. Just we decided that we had the technology and the ability, and we just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it."
Bob the Builder once said, "Can we fix it?" But a better question is, can we build it? And yes, we can.
If you build it, they will come.
And that's exactly the way I was thinking. It's like if we build it, people will come.
Well, I guess that's it. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna turn the thing off, and that's it, folks.
well, the fires died down.
Fires died.
That's all she wrote.
We're just gonna uncomfortably stretch this out as long as possible. I guess that's it, folks.
If it ain't blasty, then it ain't real.
That was fun, man. Enjoyed that.